All right, is everything running live? Looks like we're live. Audio is running smooth. Okay, awesome. Let me just set up the restream real quick. Get things going. Check event. Okay, cool. And then we will test the chat. Okay. Cool. Looks like it's running properly. Okay, guys. So for those people who don't know, today the plan is going to be, I'm just going to be doing kind of a little bit of a Q&A in regards to any sort of questions you guys have in regards to what's going on in the Pokemon market. I'm going to try and stream for about an hour or two, depending upon how things go. It's kind of going to determine how long I'm going to stream for. If you guys have got a lot of questions, a lot of interaction, then I'll keep going for several hours. But if after like an hour and a half or so it starts to die out, then I'll kind of fall back. But hello, Jigglypuff. How we doing, brother? Welcome to the channel. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a real chill stream. Last time I was kind of playing a little bit of Pokemon Unite, and to be honest with you, at like one point I wasn't even playing the game. I literally just started like goofing around and like just answering people's questions because I wasn't able to focus at the same time. So yeah, as far as it goes, it's just gonna be like a feel free to ask me any kind of questions you have in regards to just kind of what's going on in the Pokemon card market. But how's our day going so far, Mr. Jigglypuff? Hopefully all is well. But yeah, no, I haven't done one of these live streams in a while. Last time I did it, I had about 15 people actively watching. So I had a decent amount of people kind of show up when they kind of got the notification for my stream. So if we have a decent amount, well, we got 7 people right now. So if we got some live Q&As that people have questions for, please feel free to ask. I'll probably just be goofing off a little bit, kind of just a chill day. Just talk about some Pokemon card stuff and, you know, anything which way. But yeah, that's kind of gonna be it. Another thing as well too, I like to for those people that do have questions, I do like to run my second monitor and kind of pull some stuff up anytime that there's like a specific kind of how do I want to say this, specific question. We can always pull up some of the charts that I like to use, and people obviously have questions where I get my information and links, and you know, if we want to just look at in real time kind of data, we can always do that as well. So, but yeah, as far as it goes, for those people as well that don't know, one of the biggest things, shout out to Raheem for this. Yo, what's up, SDC? How we doing, brother? How's your day been? Hopefully all is well. But yeah, for those people that don't know, one of the things I've actually recently been looking for is I want to really and you can shout out to Raheem for this, but he has inspired me by flexing and trying to get some level X cards. He seems to be getting some good deals on ones that could potentially be 9s and 10s. I've seen the pictures and seen what he says, but gosh dang, man, it's definitely got me going. But if you want to see what my keyword searches are, here's mainly the keyword searches that I'm kind of looking at right now. For those people that are kind of just interested, one of my dream cards is actually to own the Mew Gold Star PSA 10. Just want to say I'm really enjoying your vids. Great job. Keep it up. Hey, I really appreciate that, brother. And I appreciate your long-time support. I mean, you've been around this channel forever. So I seriously can't thank you enough. You know, we're so close to 1,000 subs. I mean, we're literally at 932. Like, it's kind of surreal. We're 68 away. Is that, yeah, if my math's correct? So, I mean, like, seriously, guys, like, we have been zooming. Because, like, my channel, it's funny. Because I think what kind of really changed it was I started to really focus in on the marketing side, I guess is the best way to put it, of YouTube. Like before, I was just throwing out content Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Same consistent content. But before, I started changing up thumbnails, I started changing up titles, I started doing hashtags, I started doing keyword searches and understanding how the algorithm works. And it's one of those things where, you know, you kind of start to figure it out. And the thing is too, especially, you know, considering you guys enjoy my content, it's what helped it pick up so fast, you know, because if you have good content but you suck at marketing, then you're not going to be able to take off the ground. You know what I mean? If you're good at marketing but your content sucks, you can only go so far with that, you know. So which of course, you know, it sounds like you guys really enjoy it, so of course I can't thank you guys enough. What I really want to start doing actually is once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm gonna have a little bit of leverage I guess is the right, I don't know if that's the right word, to really start reaching out to some of the other bigger PokeTubers, like the other, and it's funny saying bigger PokeTubers, because like, you know, some of these PokeTubers are like anywhere between 1 to 15,000 plus, like, which is not huge by any standards, but it's enough to where I can kind of get my name on a podcast, which I would absolutely love to be able to do. I think being able to have a podcast conversation and be on someone's, or even just be able to bring someone on and one of these live streams and kind of just for us to have a talk. I would really love to that be the transition for Tuesday Thursdays, you know, like for those people who don't know, actually one of my older videos, which I don't think people on the channel have even seen unless you've been really like following my channel for a very long time. But I want to say, if I can go back to my content, we can check out live. I probably find it a very, very long time ago. But I had a actually podcast that I hosted where I talked with Jake from Pokenomics, for those people that don't know who Jake is. But that was a very, very long time ago. I wonder if I can keyword search it. But yeah, no. So it's, you know, it's been one of those things that I thought, yep, here it is. It was back in February 5th, actually. Man, I can't even believe that I was able to get him on the channel, because that stream literally has 46 views, bro. So talk about the good old days. Talk about, not even good old days. Oh no, I'm just kidding, that's not a ton of views. But yeah, no, for those people that are wondering, that's kind of what my main look is. I mean, if we look at the sold items too for the card itself, it's like there's nothing for this card in PSA 10. It's kind of tragic, and because there's a decent amount, you know, in PSA 10 condition, it's just people are not selling it for PSA or selling it in PSA 10 condition just because just kind of scarce. You have a good voice for a podcast, to be honest. You know, I really appreciate that, Jigglypuff. It's so funny. Back when I played Call of Duty and Black Ops 2, this kind of sounds dumb, but I just was told, people just told me this, but I was a huge Call of Duty player back in the day. I still play COD, but if I'm being honest, I'm kind of into Halo Infinite right now. I've really started, I hit Onyx in like 4 days because I was just grinding so much, which is so funny to say that, because literally I have a second job and I got like 3 days off, and I was like, are you telling me I'm gonna have free time? Because most of my days, it's literally wake up at like 6 a.m., do my job for several hours, then I go back to bed for several hours, then I do this stuff, whether it be editing a video, whether it be packaging products, responding to customer emails, Discord, any sort of like product inventory update, and then I go back to my other job, and then I do some more work at the end of the night. And so if I do play video games, it's like maybe for an hour or two at like 11 or 12 at night. And so that's why if some people are like, why is he responding to me so late at night? It's because literally that's my only free time. And so anyway, without getting off track, when I was a little kid, like 14, 15, I had some guy that said I sounded exactly like someone, like I've had people call me Seth, who was Optic Scump. I've had people call me that. And then I had someone also say, bro, you sound like exactly like one of those commentators. And I always thought that was the funniest thing. People always said I had a good commentator voice because I was also very like articulate with being able to be able to explain what I was trying to say. And then when it came to call outs and stuff, I was really good at call outs. So people were like, man, you seem like one of those announcers. And I was like, I always thought it was funny. At Pokenomics, I'm going to go check that out. Yeah, no, definitely check it out, STC. It's my like late. It was like back before I did pre-recorded videos. So for those that don't know, when I first started, I created the website in October of 2 years ago, almost. Well, not 2 years ago, like 2020 is when the official website went live. I spent most of the summer over COVID creating it and developing it myself. But then as far as it goes, I started producing videos in January, but I didn't really start having consistent content until I want to say June or July. That's when I really started to ramp up the content and start to pick up. So, but yeah, I definitely highly recommend going and taking a look at that. Julio Collins, do you major in market economics? You seem to have a lot of knowledge in the realm. Just wondering. So I went to a community college at CUCC, and I did go for just a 2-year in business, and then I was going to transfer to OSU of the Cascades, just located in Oregon, for marketing and economics, which is funny you say that. And so I do have a background about it. However, I actually decided to drop out, I don't think is the right word. I'm eventually going to go back and finish getting a 4-year more than likely. But I just took some time to start my business over COVID because, to be honest with you, I just saw an opportunity in the market when it came to, starting my business. And, for me, at the end of the day, I can have a degree and it'll help me get a job somewhere. But at the end of the day, the dream is to be able to pursue, starting my own business. So for me, it was more along the lines of really being, informed and learning a lot of things. And, if you really want to understand my background, so my dad, when he was, when I was 3 years old, my dad was VP of client sales at a huge marketing firm called Strata Media down in California. And so he originally got his start back in Silicon Valley. So he's been doing this for like 30, 40 plus years. So my dad has been like a huge marketing guy forever. And so literally they would make jokes that when I was 3 years old, they changed my diapers in the boardroom. And so the majority of the people that have been kind of mentors and influencers in my life are like if I'm being completely honest, like multi-million / like billionaires. And so like I've always been someone because of that who's been very interested in economic theory and learning about how to make money. And so they've kind of taken me under my wing. And there's this one guy specifically who he was the actual like CEO of the company my dad used to work for. And I would talk to him a lot of the times and I would always just ask him questions about like how to be successful, how to make money. And so I've just always had like an ear for just kind of understanding. So that's kind of, I guess, the best way to answer your question, Julio. So it's just something that I've basically I started investing in stocks when I was 12. I took 4 or 5 years worth of economics classes from the age of 12 leading up until, high school and then leading into college for several years. So it's one of these things where it's like, I've literally just been engulfed in like economics since I was literally a child. So that's just why I have so much experience for such a young age. Son of Elia Home, first off, welcome to the channel. I have 36 tins of Hidden Fates, mostly from first wave and second wave. Is this good for 15 to 20 years down the road? Bro, this is good for 5 years down the road. The fact that you have that many cases, I myself have about a case and a half, I want to say, of Hidden Fates. For tins, I have about 3 cases of the Elite Trainer boxes. I think Hidden Fates is going to be performing really well, especially considering that they've had multiple reprints. They came down to $20 and then immediately within the span of like 6 months already went back to 50. Like that just tells you how strong of a demand for it. So I think 15 to 20 years down the line, I don't think it's bold of a statement to say that you could see these tins go for upwards of, 15 to 20 years. Crap, man. If we're going off of history, you could see those tins being each worth $1,000. Obviously, not financial advice, not financial advisor, but that's just 15 to 20 years is a long time, my guy. So, and it could totally do that. 6 people, please hit that like button. Yeah, I appreciate that. SDC always giving me a shout out. Travis, what's up, my boy? How we doing? Giving me some good vibes. I appreciate the good vibes. I'm doing well. Obviously, you kind of kicked me into shape. It's so funny. Who was it who was saying it? Oh yeah, someone was asking me a question. Someone was asking me a question the other day, like you always say we, but obviously I'm the one that responds to emails. I'm the one that does a lot of, I'm the one that does all the videos and the editing and everything. But someone's like, why do you always say we? Like, why is it we? Is there someone that we don't know about? I'm trying to remember who was it who said that. I think it was Gabe. I could be wrong. But anyway, someone was saying that and I was like, I laughed and I responded to the comment and I was like, well, I actually have my girlfriend who helps me out a lot with some stuff. And so the point I'm kind of getting to this is I was talking to her this morning because she was like, hey, do you need any help for packaging product and stuff? Because she helps me out with that a lot. And it was so funny because literally I saw that Travis had sent me a message saying you need to get your shit together in regards to streaming. And like I told you guys just not that long ago, I work a second job. And so I'm tired all the time because I have to get up super early and then I go to bed super late. So it's like one of those things just like, oh, fuck, I've been exhausted. And so I tried really hard last night to go to bed super early. And I woke up this morning. She's like, should I come over? I'm like, no, I'm going to stream for several hours. I need to do my boy Travis some justice. So that's kind of one of those things where I was like, all right, Travis, you kind of got me. You kind of motivated me because honestly, you guys, the support you guys give me is one of those things where it's it drives me. And so when I hear people that get upset with me because I don't stream, I'm like, oh, shit, I gotta do it because I feel like I'm letting you guys down. Julio, that's awesome. Currently majoring in business intelligence. Sick. So I'm excited to see what takes me, and watching you and hearing that knowledge you have makes me excited about the journey. Bro, as you probably can tell, I'm super passionate about this kind of stuff. So first off, congratulations to you. Not many Americans, if you are an American, of course, get that opportunity to go to college. So congrats on you on being part of the American dream. Going in first and foremost a major that is actually, in my personal opinion, a very good one to be in. If it's something you find that you're passionate about, then I'm going to say you're absolutely going to love it. So, because it's definitely something that I love. One of the big things I would say that I've learned really in college is try and find people in your life that you can make connections with in college. That's one kind of piece of advice I can give you. And then the second piece of advice I can give you is find those professors that make the most of an influence in your life, that truly are good professors, and really latch onto them when it comes to kind of advice in college. I had one professor, I got super lucky. I had one professor who actually also was a counselor, and I was able to transfer to him. He was a business counselor, and the dude's a multimillionaire, and he actually retired early and just decided to teach macro and microeconomics for fun. So I had this one guy who I learned macroeconomic theory from, and if I'm being completely honest, like, he was a nice guy. From a teaching perspective, I didn't, agree with a lot of his macroeconomic takes. He was more of a Keynesian economics, which if you want to look into that, you can, but I don't want to bore you guys. We're a Pokemon channel. But a lot of just kind of Keynesian economic theory takes was not something I was super into. But my microeconomics teacher, his name is John Wolfe, he talked a lot about supply economic theory. And one of the reasons as well, especially when talking about micro, that kind of is a discussion in regards to how it affects your everyday life, and how, economics play a role in your life. And he was a good representation of kind of looking and seeing, like, this guy made all this money because of the financial decisions he made, and being able to see that and, like, the real world experiences that he was able to kind of help us with. Like, literally, we would get extra credit if we brought in our insurance, like, what we brought in as our insurance for our cars. We would get extra credit if we shared our rates on what we were getting for, and then we would literally do our research in the middle of class to see why specifically we went with that specific company, and then as well if there were cheaper rates. Because the whole purpose of what he was trying to do, and this really ties into a lot of psychology, is he was talking about how for a lot of people, they spend most of their time just doing things without even thinking about it. And that stems, typically speaking, because of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just kind of, they have preconceived notions, or they've just been taught by their parents to do something. You know what I mean? So, like, think about it for this way, right? If your parents, for example, let's say you have Allstate, right? It's a good example. I'll use me, for example, right? My parents, for the longest time, had Allstate. When I first got my car, what was the insurance I got? It was Allstate. And it was because you're 16, you don't really know at the time, you don't really think about it, right? And so with that being said, recently my parents switched to Geico. And it was one of these things where it wasn't really until my parents made the switch that I really started to do my own research. Is this something that is affordable for me? And from that, I've been able to learn, especially from my micro class, a lot about, being able to be independent and do your own research, and understanding that when it comes to, whether it be insurance with your car, life insurance, health insurance, and that kind of stuff. I mean, if I'm being honest, when you're my age, you don't really need life insurance because you're really low risk. But as far as it goes, just overall from an insurance perspective, really being able to do your due diligence and kind of do the research is something that is super duper important. Vor on G, no clue what that means, but welcome to the channel, KRCV. But yeah, I just think that's something that's very important, that I really took away. I think it was really about just life skills in general is what I think I took away the most from the economics classes that I took. And like I said before, I took economics classes before I went into college. I was blessed to have the opportunity to do that. The schools that I went to offered it. I know a lot of people don't, but one thing I will tell you is self-education is one of the most important things. One of the, if there's one person I can tell you about who has been a real influence in regards to who I think you should listen to if you're really trying to get real grasp of good economic theory, Thomas Sowell does a really good job on breaks down what's coming to economic theory. If you're trying to understand market psychology a lot, there's this book called Trading in the Zone. It's specifically geared towards people that are market traders, but even if you're not a market trader and you're just an investor, and even just everyday life, I think Trading in the Zone is one of those books I highly recommend a lot of people read. Just just being able to learn to teach yourself if you're not getting that, whether it be from your teachers or classes. Let's say you have a shitty micro or macroeconomic teacher, or just a shitty econ teacher, whatever it be, just any of that, just being able to, self-teach is one of the most important values that I've kind of learned. Travis, haha, bro, I was totally kidding when I said get your life together, but I didn't ramp streaming. Hopefully you'll start doing it more because I learned so much and encouraged so much. Honestly, I kind of figured you were kidding, but to be honest with you, Travis, if I'm going to be leveling with you, you're someone who's been super supportive of the channel, and so I care about you a lot in regards to when you want to see me stream. I put a lot of value on that. and you've been one of those guys that's helped me out a lot in kind of getting, you know, topics, talking about the channel, you know, kind of, you know, giving me feedback on everything. So I just want to say how much you truly do mean to me. Like when you told me that, it really, like, I kind of felt that is the best way to put it. Like if I'm truly leveling with you. And so you might have joked about it, but I personally in my head, I'm like, I know he's kidding, but I do take that seriously because I do care about you guys, and like I want to be able to like give you guys the content and be able to stream and like be able to answer questions because you guys mean the world to me. Julio, haha, noted. And even though this is a Pokemon channel, this knowledge helps out a lot. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's the funny thing, Julio, is this is a Pokemon channel. And I know I can sometimes get off tangents on economics, but it's hard because it ties in so much. I mean, we've seen the correlation in some of my breakdown videos when talking about how the stock market correlates to crypto, the correlation of crypto to Pokemon market, and it's like this one big circle. It's the craziest thing how everything kind of correlates. It makes sense at the end of the day because a lot of, you know, macroeconomic policies really tie into, as you guys have seen me talk about, GDP growth and talking about retail sales and all so far and so forth. Sorry, by the way, if I talk so fast. You're probably gonna have to listen to me at like half speed. But still, just something obviously that's very interesting. Jigglypuff, what's your take on the reverse reinvesting in sealed? Wait, the RR? Are you talking about rate of return, or are you talking about reverse rare? Are you talking about rate of return? I think you're talking about rate of return. I would assume that's what you mean by RR. If you're talking about rate of return, first off, correct me if I'm wrong, Jigglypuff. Obviously, there's a little delay, so just say like, yeah, if that's what you're talking about. But if you're talking about what's my overall take in the rate of return on sealed vintage, I actually talked about this slightly, not a ton, but I talked about this slightly in my video with Logan Paul losing money. I talked about that a little bit. I can't remember if I talked about it in one of my other videos. I think I did talk about it. God, there's another video I could have sworn I talked about it. But anyway, I'll break it down for you. Risk reward. Okay, thank you. Your R, risk reward. That's kind of what I figured. Yo, what's up, Wiz? I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope you're having a great day too, brother. Thanks for stopping by the channel. But no, Jiggly, to answer your question, yeah, risk reward, rate of return. I'm sorry, there's so many RR terms like risk reward, reverse rare, rate of return. There's so many different RRs. So thank you for specifying. What is my personal opinion on that? I think the overall risk to reward ratio is solid if you can find an authentic box. My biggest fear, if I'm being completely honest, is kind of one of the things I talked about in Logan Paul's video, which I think that vintage, since it is vintage, will hold very strong value over time. You take a look at other like modern sports cards that, you know, are able to be worth millions to hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you see some of these other sports cards that are, you know, considered vintage, which some of these are like in the early 40s and so on, because sports cards have been around for a while. But it's one of these things where for me personally, although I think they're a good investment, I typically tend to stray away from them a lot just because I'm allocating so much capital into it with having to do so much verification. So if from a collection perspective, if I'm being completely honest, from a collection perspective, I will eventually own them because I want to own every single booster box long term. Obviously, it sounds like a big goal, but I think I could get there someday. So I do think they're, like I said before, if you can get an authentic booster box, I think it'll hold really good value long term. But at the same exact time, my biggest thing is just where you're going to find that. You can find it on eBay. You got eBay buyer protection, but then you ask yourself how you're going to be able to authenticate that, obviously hoping that the seller has a good, you know, kind of rating, like a good rating. You know, you could do it from like auction sites. Obviously, you can do that golden auctions, or you could do that with heritage auctions. You know, try and get that good verification is one of those things where if you can really get it, then I think that's awesome. So I think the risk to reward is there, especially considering vintage, you know, it's the scarcest, in theory at least, it should be the scarcest of the sets. If we're talking like WotC era. So I would say definitely good, but if I'm being completely honest, as it stands right now, a lot of my focus has been looking at elite trainer boxes, because as we've broken down the numbers on the channel, I just think elite trainer boxes are the future in regards to best RR for long-term investment, especially Pokemon Center. I mean, I bought multiple cases worth of these celebrations. I think I have about 20 of them for which a case is 4, but I have like 20 of the Pokemon Center ones. I pre-ordered a case of Brilliant Star. When it comes back live again, I'm going to keep pre-ordering them. I've pre-ordered a case of Fusion Strike. So my focus really is going to be accumulating those booster boxes if people want to really kind of take a look into what I'm personally investing in. But at the end of the day, my guy, like I said, I think it's safe. I think it's not a bad investment opportunity for talking sealed. Just be very wary when it comes to understanding a lot of the risks, and make sure that if you're going to buy it, if it's too good of a deal to be true, it probably is. So make sure you do your research in that, because it can be very scary. Travis, aw shucks, man. Well, I truly believe in you and your channel. You provide a lot of value inspiration. By the way, I have $20,000 and want to buy 4%. Bro, if you're saying that you want, I mean, let's do the freaking math here, my guy. If you're saying that $28,000, and by first off, this is Shark Tank out here, my guy. If you're giving me $28,000, let's divide that by, actually, how am I sucking at this math, right? Would it be divided by or times? 0.04. Be about, oh, no. It's 100. It's 100 divided by 4. There we go. It's 100 divided by 4. 4%. You times that by 25. 25 times 28,000. So you're evaluating my company at over $700,000. Hey, bro. I mean, if you're serious, like, sure, I'll give you 4% of my, like, 4% of my company and help you gain some revenue in that. For 28K, bro. Hey, bro. I've never had someone give me an evaluation of 700K. I haven't even grossed that in sales yet, even though I did have a really good first year, if I'm being honest. But I appreciate that, my guy. I really do appreciate your support, and I hope to be able to get there someday. Agem, what's your take on Charizard Reshiram GX Premium Gold boxes? I got 2, one to open, one to seal, but now I see them on eBay for close to MSRP. How do you think they will do long term? Great question, AJ. So I actually have a couple. There's actually one in right there in display. I have a couple actually stored away in my closet. In my personal opinion, I think they will perform really well. The one thing I will say that I've kind of learned, especially when it comes to like these cardboard type boxes, is they're really hard to store, especially if you don't have the specific sealed box. And since it is a Walmart exclusive, that has kind of been my biggest fear. However, it is a Reshiram and Charizard GX Gold Premium box. So, you know, it's a Charizard box. And although obviously you're saying right now that it's really close to MSRP, in my personal opinion, that should just tell you to double down as a good opportunity to invest in, because Charizard, historically speaking, has performed really well. You look at some of the older Charizard boxes in the kind of, you know, GX era as well as the EX era, and they've performed really well. So I definitely think it'll be a great investment long term. But once again, biggest concern is just knowing how to store them. See if you can kind of get custom sealed boxes and keeping them in that. That's why kind of Elite Trainer boxes are my favorite, as well as the booster boxes, because you can get those sealed cases to kind of store them in, because they already are custom designed. But honestly, yeah, I think you'll be doing fine. Cardboard Origins, first off, thank you for stopping by. I pretty much never speculate on modern singles, but do you think about VMAX Climate Alt-Arts? Seem to be a lot of Japanese exclusive Alt-Arts. You can get all 28 regular V Alt-Arts for like $350 per piece. So as far as it goes, I'm kind of on the same boat with you when it comes to speculation. When talking about modern singles, I personally think that they're not really a good investment. Obviously, I've, you know, made videos in what I think the future is going to be if you're talking about sending them in for grading, especially considering how deeply these sets are getting printed. So it's just one of those things from an investment perspective. I don't see it. Now, of course, you can make an argument, as you were saying, Japanese exclusive arts. I definitely think that if we're talking about like Japanese promos, which you're saying just arts and regular Vs, that's a little bit different. That's kind of what I would really say to it. Obviously, I've talked about, you know, bulk grading BGS cards that you can get at a really good price. In my personal opinion, is going to be the future. But as far as it goes, I'm not really a big fan of seeing a lot of these VMAX Climax Alt-Arts as a good form of just general bulk investment, unless you're able to get a really good steal, and unless, hypothetically speaking, you're going to say to me BGS, you know, is going to open up again at a good bulk rate, because honestly, these discounted prices, we haven't seen them in forever. And so that's kind of my personal opinion on it. I really do stray away from singles in regards to modern, because you just never know how many is going to be printed unless I'm able to hit those black labels. and be able to spend the capital to be able to hopefully get them. Hopefully that answers your question. If you do, of course, you can always, elaborate more if I didn't hit everything that you were asking. Chris Jones, how do you feel about the Munch Scream promos for long term? Are you talking about like the Pikachu Scream? Is that what you were talking about? We can actually take a look about that. We can take a look at Munch Scream Pokemon. I think, yeah, that's exactly what I thought you meant. I think these will do amazing long term. Personal opinion, I think Japanese promos, I think that they are going to be really strong. I remember when, I mean, dude, even English promos, like for those people that don't remember when the Delivery Pikachu first came out, I remember I got one of the Delivery Pikachus. Just got it because I ordered from the Pokemon Center. Sold it literally for $300 a week after I got it. Free promo card. So when we're talking Japanese, I do think there's a little bit more of a niche for Japanese promos compared to English. But to be honest with you, I think Japanese, they know how to nail promos compared to English. So I think there's a huge market and opportunity for promos, especially when we're talking about the Pokemon Crane. I'm going to probably do this wrong, but Pokemon Crane... bird box. Nah, I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. No, Pokemon promo. Gosh dang it, I always forget the name of this one. Pokemon. God, you guys. Gosh dang it, guys. Pokemon. What is the box? Pokemon Japanese Crane Pokemon promo card. I hope this is going to look up. There we go. This one. These are the sets that I think will do really well. The PSL Pokemon Collection Beauty Back Moon Gun Japanese post promo. Yes, it's the Japanese postcard promo. How did I forget that? Japanese postcard promo box. I think, in my personal opinion, I think this right here is going to perform amazing. So kind of answer your question in regards to the Munch Scream, I think they're going to do really well long term, but I just wanted to kind of transition into that. In my personal opinion, I think that you're going to see really, really good long-term growth in regards to Japanese promos. I personally think that obviously there's certain ones like the lenticular Deoxys that are not super popular that I think are amazing. For those people that haven't seen the interview that I did with Jake from Pokenomics back in February, he actually showed me the card for the first time. I had never seen it before, so that should really show you what it looks like. So for those people who don't know about the lenticular, I'm probably spelling this wrong, Deoxys, but wow, I really spelled lenticular wrong. But it's one of the promos that they gave out for the Deoxys movie, and it was a movie promo that allowed the card to have like a hollow foil pattern that would change every time you'd move it. It's one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. But it's one of those cards that, it hasn't performed really well because it's a big niche. But for cards like obviously I can't find the card, Lenticular Deoxys movie promo. I can probably find it if I just look up Promop. Man, my spelling is on point, guys. But it's one of those cards that I think will perform really. Here it is. Here we can take a look. So as you can see, that's the lenticular one. The one all the way at the far left is the lenticular one. And when you change the shape of it, it turns into all these other ones. And it's one of the coolest cards I have ever seen. And no one ever talks about it because it's such a rare card to find. And so when you're talking about a lot of these Japanese promos, a lot of them have a very niche market where a lot of people don't know about them. And then as they gain popularity, in my personal opinion, I think they will perform extremely well. Personal opinion, obviously take everything I say with a grain of salt. But, obviously if you want to talk to someone who's really good or listen to someone who's really good when talking about Japanese promos, SM Pratt is an amazing kind of, he's kind of nailed down Japanese promos. Everyone kind of has a lot of their niches for what they're good at. Like not everyone can be really good when it comes to certain specific eras, but Japanese promos, he does a really good job. Check him out, SM Pratt. But yeah, Japanese promos I think will do good. Son of you only got 3 UPCs. I mean, honestly, my guy, I only have 1 UPC. So I don't have a ton myself. I do think UPCs will do well long term. I think you'll definitely be able to make good money off of it. But for me personally, I was so limited to buying them from my distributor, and I was able to get like the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes at, on the website. So it's just a better opportunity for me. Because if you can get those UPCs at that like 120 price point, then you're obviously like living cush. That's going to be a great investment long term. But if you're buying it for like 300 to 400, although I do think it'll be a good investment long term, I think you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get a good RR because you're buying it at such a higher price point. Wisdom, if I wanted to open a small card grading service, would I need a license or just experience? I want to specialize in Pokemon. I don't trust the graders at PSA. I've seen guys send in fake first. I mean, here's the problem with it, Wisdom, and this is my personal opinion. I think the current market as it stands right now is already oversaturated in regards to grading services. You've seen multiple people, like you saw A-Drive came out with his own company. You saw, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, but one of the UK YouTubers actually just recently came out with his own grading platform. And so there's been a lot of an oversaturation in regards to it. I definitely understand your speculation with it, but I think a lot of these, separate grading services are kind of going to die out unless they're really able to kind of thrive creating a brand for themselves, because that's the most important thing. The reason why PSA has stood the test of time, because it is PSA, the brand itself. So although of course you could come and say to yourself that I'm going to open up my own grading services, you don't need a license other than a business license to operate as far as I know, but it's really going to have to come at the overall saying I have X amount of experience grading Pokemon. I know Pokemon inside and out, specifically grading card aspect of it. So you're going to have to be able to show a resume of experience on top of the fact of the matter, be able to build such a strong brand, which you can't just do overnight. It takes a lot of time. And people like A-Drive, although he has upwards of almost 1 million subscribers, it's not going to be able to happen just overnight. For him, he's going to have to go through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And if it works out for him, then great for him. Obviously, he survived. But I think that as far as it goes right now, you've got these huge corporations that already have such a reputation in regards to it. Of course, it's a free market, and I want to see small businesses succeed. And if they can do a good job doing it and they bring out a really good product, then that'd be awesome. But as far as it goes, not trying to discourage you at all, you really got to be able to bring that experience and bring that capital to kind of brand and market yourself, specifically if you're talking about creating your own grading company. Wisdom edition, and it got graded. Okay, I see what you're saying. Nate Bassett, is there going to be a reprint on Cosmic Eclipse? So Nate, there's no confirmed reprint for Cosmic Eclipse. Obviously, I talked about the Pokeball tins that we had, the Spring Collection ones for 2022 that did have Cosmic Eclipse packs. We looked at the packs, kind of broke it down, speculated that it's more than likely older packs that were kind of thrown in because there was supposed to be a Cosmic Eclipse reprint back in 2020, but then COVID happened, and so they ended up just kind of having some extra packs left over. Is it possible there could be one? Yes, I do think there is a possibility there could be one, but as far as it goes, not guaranteed right now. There has been a lot of old products surfacing. Obviously, I talked about in my last video with, kind of just resurfacing of Lost Thunder, Fates Collide, Steam Siege. So I think your best bet is honestly seeing kind of like a resurfacing of pre-release kits. That could see the price go down a decent amount, not like a ton, depends how much of course they have kind of back stored, but there's no confirmed reprint outside of that. I also sent in a card that I was analyzing, centering was off. I wasn't expecting a 10 and I got a 10. Bro, it honestly, and this is the part that sucks, Wiz, if I'm being honest, it all comes down to the grader, and that's one of the things I definitely hate about the grading companies. But you're going to see that with BGS, you're going to see that with PSA, you're going to see that with CGC. Obviously, every grader is going to be different. Some of them are going to grade harsher, some of them are going to grade weaker, and the market also will take that into account because there are some, PSA 10, First Ed, Shadowless Charizards that do sell for less than others because the fact of the matter of the market will deem, hey, we think this one has more flaws than this one. If it were hypothetically to be regraded for trying to get a black label, we don't think it would perform well. So people will take that into account when it sells on auction. So obviously, initially you're saying to yourself, well, it got a 10, so it's, going to sell for a 10. But depending upon what kind of card you sent into, a lot of that is taken into account. Cardboard Origins. Alternate arts. Well, yeah, no, I know what you meant when you said you were talking about specific, when you were talking about what do I think about VMAX Climax alt arts. The sentiment that I gave still remains true. I think that as far as it goes when it comes to singles, just in general, whether it be we're talking about alternate arts from Evolving Skies, whether it be alternate arts from Fusion Strike, whether it be from Brilliant Star, just general modern singles my personal opinion, not the best investment unless you can really find that opportunity for one to be able to mass grade, hope to get that black label. But even then, that's a huge gamble, especially considering we don't even know what the BGS prices are going to be, and if you're really able to get a good discounted price for that. Biggie Smalls, do you think Sword and Shield base will get a set reprint? Yes, I do. I feel pretty confident saying that. I could of course be off base with this, but one of the things I've talked about, and honestly, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and we can use this as kind of like a historical video to go back on. But I've made videos talking about how I think there's going to be a reprint for Sword and Shield base, and there's going to be a reprint for Rebel Clash, because historically speaking, the Pokemon Company loves to do reprints right before rotation years for their competitive play. Competitive play is opening up for the first time in person starting this year. We're obviously in January. Competitions start in August for Pokemon Worlds, and then they typically send them out of rotation in September. So my personal prediction is more than likely sometime between now and June, you're going to specifically potentially see a Sword and Shield reprint. Now, of course, not financial advice, not financial advisor. There's nothing guaranteed. I'm just speculating off of what we've seen from history when taking a look at Unbroken Bonds Unified Mind reprint, when taking a look at Primal Clash and Roaring Skies reprints. So there's just a little bit of a history of it, which is what I'm kind of going off of. So I'd be surprised if they didn't at least see some form of a reprint. Obviously, you've seen a lot of the Elite Trainer boxes for just Sword and Shield base, as well as the Rebel Clash pack showing up a lot more in stores. So that is, it's good for the overall general product prices for singles. But ultimately, I still would lean towards the fact that I believe personally, not guaranteed, but I believe personally that we should expect a reprint. Honey K's high Bert nice. It's because I believe in the future of the brand and that it could be a multi-million-dollar company one day. Isn't that how Shark Tank works? That is exactly how Shark Tank works, my guy Travis. No, 100% my guy. And I believe in the brand too. I mean, to see the growth that we've seen as a channel, I wouldn't be able to be here without you guys, honestly. I can't thank you guys enough so much, especially when you guys ask me these questions and subscribe to the channel. Well, everything helps. Like, seriously, like, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So I really do appreciate every one of you guys. You guys have been a huge support. Thanks. I agree in supply and everything. I just think possibly the only desirable cards from our current time will be alt arts. Oh, well, when you're talking about from that perspective, I do agree with you. I do think that alt arts will perform better than a lot of cards. But when you talk about, you look at just the history of, modern, ultra modern, like Sun and Moon, XY era stuff, as far as it goes, they will be more desirable than other cards, of course, but that doesn't mean because of the supply is king, they're ultimately still going to go down. Now, of course, if the demand is really strong, that will at some points outweigh supply. We've seen that obviously with Evolving Skies. It has seen a decent amount of reprints, and we're more than likely expecting to see some more, whether it be this year or next year. And the prices have held really strong. So, and majority of them have been the alternate art. So I definitely agree with you in that perspective, Cardboard Origins. So yeah, you could be 100% right, and we don't know until we know what the demand is going to be like. If the demand is going to be just as strong as Evolving Skies, then you could totally see something like specific alternate arts perform really well. But of course, I just kind of try and err on the side of, when it comes to single card investment, it's a lot more speculative compared to sealed, because obviously sealed is more of a deflationary asset. As more product of it is open, then there's less supply, and as more of it is open, then there's more cards, singles being in the market. Son of Elheim, I honestly stopped buying newer sets. I bought up XY and Sun and Moon in 2019 and early 2020. I don't like alt arts and this stuff. Yeah, I mean, honestly, son, if you're not a huge fan of this kind of modern stuff, I completely get it, my guy. I mean, especially I remember when I was a kid too. I mean, I'm not saying you're a kid, but I'm just saying I remember when I was a kid back in the Black and White era, I didn't like a lot of the Black and White sets. I think Black and White base set was really weak. I thought that Emerging Powers was really weak. So there's a lot of Black and White sets that I just completely skipped because, I don't like this. Of course, I ended up, leaving the Pokemon market until Plasma Blast happened, and then I came back later in the XY era, back for Evolution. So I took a little bit of a time off back when I missed, or sorry, not Plasma Blast era, but the Plasma era. So I missed Plasma Blast, Plasma Storm, Plasma Freeze, and all these other great sets. So definitely missed out on it. But as far as it goes, my guy, I definitely completely understand, obviously it comes down to personal interpretation, what you like. So I totally get that, my guy. And especially, I mean, obviously if you're just looking from a collection perspective, that's obviously one thing. If you're talking about obviously from an investment perspective, then I definitely would kind of recommend still looking into it, because even if you might not like the art, a lot of other people do. But if you're just a collector, completely get it, my guy. I totally see that. AJ, yeah, the postal box, yeah. So you're going back on it. 22-7S, beauty looking back. Oh yeah, dude, the cards are great. Everyone's, yeah, the Pikachu box, yeah, the postal box. Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate you too, Chris. But yeah, no, post office box looks amazing. Sorry, I'm so I like to go in depth when you guys ask me questions, so I'm sorry for taking so long. I buy one post office every week until they exceed 250. Honestly, cardboard, I think that's, I'm not financial advisor, but I think they're gonna perform really well long term, especially considering. Thank you, Julio Randolph. That's who it is, and I've watched some of Randolph's videos. He brings good content. Best of luck to him. Yeah, Travis, I know we're up to 30 viewers in here. Thank you guys so much. Wiz, if I make you a 3D printed card slab stand with your channel's name on it, would you accept it as a gift? I have a 3D printing guy in my area. 100% I would accept that as a gift. That would be so cool, Wiz. If you sent me that, dude, I would love to take a look at that. And I'll even show it off on the channel, and I'll give you a shout out and everything. If you want to just shoot me an email, Wiz, you can see it on our website. We have all the links down below, support@Pokemart USA. If you want to just shoot me an email, and I can send you my address, I can have you, I'll just shoot, when you send me the email, I'll just shoot you over my address and you can send it to me. But yeah, I'd love to take a look at it, my guy, and I'll totally give you a shout out. Did you hear about Graded Gem lost PSA wait, they lost PSA submissions? Whoa, that's huge. And it's funny you say that, AJ. I actually, the reason why I learned about Randolph was because I was following Graded Gem back when they had like 1,000 or 2,000 subs, because I thought what they were doing was a great idea because no one was really doing the grading service they were doing. Now, of course, I have absolutely no idea where Graded Gem is right now in regards to their YouTube followers, but I have absolutely no idea. I had absolutely no idea about that. They're about 13 subs. Wow. Wow. Yo. Oh no, that'll be a fun video to have a conversation about. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna have to talk about on one of these videos. Yeah, thank you so much for showing me that, bro. AJ, that's huge. We'll have to have a conversation about that, especially considering the fact of the matter that it's funny, man. I remember back before COVID, before like anyone was doing these in middleman graded services, I actually looked into doing it as one of the services for the business before I officially opened, but I strayed away because the liability that comes with that is very scary. So yeah, it's we'll talk about that in one of the videos, and we'll definitely have to look into that some more. But thank you for pointing that out, AJ. I know, Travis, man, almost 1,000 subs. Let's go, almost 1,000 subs, baby. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're so close. What are we at right now? I'm gonna do a little refresh. We're at 932 still, or have we gone up? We're 932 still. That's okay though, because we've gained about. We were at 910. We were at 910 to start the day, so we've gotten 22 subs, which, I mean, guys, that's a pretty good amount of subs in one day. It seems like my video that I posted last night. Let me see how many views we at. We're at 766 views. It'll be my second or third fastest grossing video, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. But yeah, most of my videos are like breaking 1K. The only one that kind of tanked was the Logan Paul one. So yeah, you guys are helping me out a lot. Congratulations. Or thank you guys so much. Congratulations. Yeah, right. Although I've got my Roops and cryptocurrency in stock, I'd love to hear someone talk about thoughts so passionately. I've subbed my broski, keep on the good work. I really appreciate that, Lauren. Seriously, when you guys tell me these things, it really does touch me. It really does motivate me. And so I really thank you guys a lot for the warm regards. I truly do mean it, and I read a lot of your, if not most of your guys' comments, especially when you say things like that. I'll always at least give it a heart just to let you know that I saw it and I read it and I appreciate it. Before I would like respond to everyone's comment individually, but I've gotten to a point where like I've gotten so many comments, I can only respond to so many. So if that doesn't, you know, get me excited. But Lawrence, my roots originally were in stocks when I was a little kid, and then I got into cryptos when I was about 2017. Yeah, 2017 I think is when I got into cryptos, so I completely get it. My face froze. Let's hope that unfreezes pretty soon here. Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of cryptos, huge fan of stocks, and I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it means a lot. I just like to, of course, you know, with Pokemon, I love Pokemon. Been doing Pokemon since I was a little kid, so I definitely think there's a huge market for it. Raheem, what do you think about the new eBay authentication for expensive cards? Would you mind elaborating with that there, Raheem? I had no idea about that. Man, I love when you guys ask me these questions that I don't know the answers to. Because another thing is too, guys, if I don't know the answer to a question, I'll make sure to let you know. Because I don't know everything. I know a lot of people like to act like they do know everything, but I don't know everything. I know a good amount of stuff about Pokemon, but I'm not an expert on everything specifically. But you know, as far as it goes, I appreciate you guys bringing this to my attention, because it's definitely one of those things I would love to do research on and talk about in a video, or just kind of do a little bit of a look up into it. So if you want to kind of elaborate more on that, Raheem, then I'd love to look into it. What's up, Stop Sign? How we doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Jay, thanks for stopping by as well. Jay just picked up a Hidden Face 6968 Secret Rainbow Moltres Apples Article for $20. Ship drip drip. Heck yeah, brother. Right on. Congratulations on the pickup. Stop Sign. I have the Space Fisher Deoxylin too. Heck yeah, Stop Sign. Do you have, what's the condition of it in, bro? Because that is an amazing card. That is such a cool card. And so congrats on the pickup for that. Travis, I love to see Sword and Shield based reprint. Solid set. Would like to get a case or two. I mean, right there with you, brother. I think top tier singles special sets will do better. The singles are regular sets. Champions Path Charizard will crush Darkness Ablaze VMAX because less reprints. Yes and no. We don't know if there's going to be reprints for Champions Path, but if there's not, I agree with you. Yes. Not to mention, one of the things I think will perform really well, in my personal opinion, is there is a absolute steal of a deal when it comes to the promo ratio compared to the BGS ratio of black labels for the Charizard V promo for the Champions Path boxes. So take that into consideration if you know what I'm saying without saying it. So might want to do a little bit of looking into that. Hello, you can find Sword and Shield ETBs at Walmart nowadays. LOL. I've seen so many in the past 2 days. I'm not sure if I should pick some up or not. Well, I picked up some just for my Elite Trainer Box collection. But yeah, bro, I went to my store the other day, like literally a full shelf of Elite Trainer Boxes. So that, if that doesn't say, you know, something, then I don't know. I think that's a really good sign. Wisdom, I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate you too, my guy. Seriously. Eli, what is your favorite card of all time? Great question. I think that as far as it goes, I can't specifically point out one specific favorite card, but I can specifically point out specific favorite types of cards. Level X era, Leafeon and Glaceon Level X, two of my favorite cards of all time. I have the Leafeon Japanese version. I want the English, but there's only like 5 in existence, so long-term goal, gonna have to try and figure something out with that. Glaceon, don't own it, but I'm looking into getting it long-term. Pretty expensive as well. Mew Gold Star, absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite cards of all time. I love the Mew Gold Star. For those people that know, I mean, I was literally just showing it not that long ago. We can take a look and see. It's one of my saved listed. I mean, you saw Level X, Mew. I mean, this, I love this card. I love this card. This card's beautiful. PSA 10, baby. That's the dream right there. Get it for around 3,500 minus. That'd be awesome. But those are probably my 3 favorite cards of all time, my personal opinion. Just because I resonate with them so much. And I love Shiny Mew. Shiny Mew is one of my favorite. Musical Legendary, one of my favorite Shiny Legendaries. Absolutely love the card. Think it's beautiful. Can I think of any other ones? My 3 favorite Pokemon are Gen 4 at least. Giratina, Garchomp, Darkrai. But surprisingly enough, the Level X variations are not my favorite compared to some of the other cards. Super cool. Spencer, heyo, what's up, Spencer? How we doing? Raheem, it's the UK division of Grades Gem. That sounds so sus, Raheem. I don't know how I feel about that, my guy. That sounds pretty sketch, especially after they just potentially lost a lot of their Pokemon product. I think it could be, a good kind of business opportunity for them. I think it could be good for you, but I mean, if you're spending a fee, look at what happened with Logan Paul. They better know their shit, especially after they lost product. Like AJ just pointed out, that could really hurt their reputation. So don't know how I feel about that a lot. Don't know if I feel too good about that. I definitely see a market for it, but yeah, that's tough. That's a hard one to say, my guy. That's a really hard one to say, especially when you're looking at the, what recently happened with Logan Paul. Makes it really hard to know whether or not you can really trust a lot of a lot of grading, so-called grading companies these days, especially when they just lost a lot of people's cards. I'm gonna start working on it, and it was designed for, one for me, but I think you deserve one of all your wisdom. Hey, I mean, honestly, I can't, seriously, you're just flattering me a little too much. I seriously appreciate it. You're making me smile. Yeah, seriously, that'd be awesome, Wiz. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad to share a lot of my wisdom with you. Koga, yeah, it'll be 10K probably or really soon. Felt really special being the OGs. Honestly, guys, if I'm being completely honest, and this stays between you and I, guys, for those people that have been in the channel for a while, if you are a part of my Discord, I'll be having something special if, you know, hypothetically, I really start to, you know, increase the channel size. If I start hitting that 100,000 plus subs and I really start to bring in that monetization and I start getting, you know, ads and sponsors and stuff, just letting you guys know, for those OGs, I'm going to do a little something special for you guys. Who have been sticking around, so just know that. Of course, we're not even close to there yet, but just something in mind. But yes, sir, there, Mr. Kogs. Oh, Kogo, of course, one of the OGs. I think eBay just started that a day ago. Interesting. Just type eBay new trading card authentication. Yeah, should show up. Yeah, I'll look that up then. eBay authentic. Yeah. Inside eBay's no authenticating grading for trading cards. It'll be a fast service, but it's specifically eBay. I mean, it could work. I mean, it's backed by eBay, so I mean, it could work. But of course, a lot of speculation behind it. But if it works, it works. That'd be cool. That'd be actually pretty cool, man. I mean, that could be good if eBay backs it. God, here's the thing, man. One thing I will say, Raheem, if eBay backs it, that does make a huge game change to the market. So I think that could be good. I would love to see what the fees are that they're going to be offering. We can look into that a little bit more. But I would love to see what the fees are on that. So, because that would obviously, you know, play a big role. But if you're telling to me one of my biggest fears when it comes to investing in older product is I have a booster box that I buy from eBay, and then I'm able to have them authenticate it. And then if it's not authenticated, they then cover the cost because I bought it from eBay. Then that actually is a good correlate. Like that's a good way of going about it, especially since eBay is the one who started the service. So I actually take a little bit back, but of course I still am speculative if you said it's true about it being kind of a part of graded gems. Cards 7,500 got authenticated, I believe, for a limited time. Got cards 750 plus get authenticated, I believe, for a limited time. Got an email about it on eBay. Interesting. I'll have to look into that for free a limited time. That's kind of what I thought we meant. Travis just said that. Those numbers could be wrong. It'll be over 250. I mean, if we're talking authenticating cards, my guy, you've got PSA for a reason. If we're talking booster boxes. Raheem, no, the UK division of graded gem is the one who lost the cards, which completely separates. Oh, that's what you're saying, Raheem. Thank you. I got so confused when I read that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's separate from eBay. Oh, well, if that's separate, I think this whole eBay thing's a great idea. I think this is a great idea. If you don't have that kind of core, yeah, the UK division. Okay, I see what you're saying, Raheem. Yes, because of course you've got Z&G Emporium. Z&G is kind of doing a lot of the US kind of stuff. But yes, the UK division of graded gems. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But it's completely separate to eBay. That changes things. I think eBay could do. I think that could be a good job. If you're telling me though, eventually it'll be anything. I'll be interested to see what the numbers are. Yeah, for sure. If that's true or not, Travis, I'd love to see the numbers on how much it'll cost. Recently, but yeah, that could be a good idea. I'm gonna say that. That's gonna be my final thought. I think it's a good idea in theory at first, specifically if you're also going to be grading sealed booster boxes, because it's saying, if we're looking at it right now, for trading cards. Doesn't say sealed booster boxes. If it applies to sealed booster boxes, I'll look into it more. Obviously, I'm just shooting shit right now because I'm not really super informed about it. So please, if I sound dumb about this, it's because I don't really know. But I'll look more into it. I think that could be a good thing for the market for sure. And I think it's probably an appropriate response, especially after everything that happened with Logan Paul. Travis, I just recently watched the Pokemon movie with Darkrai. Way better than I thought it would be. I mean, honestly, Pokemon, for the most part, has been pretty good at producing content in regards to their anime. I think they do a really good job. eBay thing is being done by CGC with no middleman. Huh. That's interesting. That could be a good thing. Yeah, I mean, CGC is obviously reputable. Yeah, that could be a good thing. Adrian Madrang. Looks like I'm finally starting to get caught up. Do you think now is the time evolutions time Now is the time, the evolutions and evolving skies. What do you mean by that? I'm a little confused. Are you saying now's the time to invest? Obviously, I've been, you know, preaching about investing in the booster boxes ever since a couple months ago. So I think that you can still get them for relatively a good price. I mean, as long as it's close to $100, I think it's a good deal. 125 is not that bad. Obviously, you could have got it 25% cheaper not that long ago. But I still don't think it's a bad pickup. Once you start hitting 140, 150, then I'll change my, you know, tune to that, especially if they potentially have more reprints. But yeah. Hopefully that's what you were asking. Obviously, if you want to correct what you were trying to say, then please let me know, because I'd love to answer your question appropriately. Will the prices go down is what I mean. Ah, yes, there you go. Yes, they will. I think they will. There's gonna more than likely, I'd be stunned, absolutely stunned if we don't have a reprint of Evolving Skies in the next year or two. So I think for as far as it goes, I think EV singles will go down over time. But as far as it goes right now, Adrian, the demand has been so high. I don't see that happening as it stands right now, but I do see it happening in the near future, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road. I would say just be patient. I know it sucks to be patient. Everyone hates to be patient. If you really want to get it, you can, but if you really want to get at a cheaper price, you're going to be rewarded in the market by patience and finding those opportunities, because the thing is, there's always going to be opportunities in this market. You just got to be patient enough to wait for them. Koga, yeah, the Sword and Shield anime is pretty good. Love the Gengar part. Haven't seen that part. I haven't really watched a lot of the Sword and Shield one. I really stopped watching the anime. I watched like the origin stuff online. I watched some of the series that the Pokemon company puts, but I haven't really watched the anime like religiously since the Black and White era. That's when I really watched it religiously. AJ, I agree with you about the EV stars. I think supporting verifying sealed where I can't verify myself would be rather than singles, which I feel pretty confident taking the detecting fakes. Yeah, no, for sure, AJ. Yeah, of course. Not to mention, especially too, when you're talking about the fact of the matter that you've got PSA already that's going to verify your cards, and it's pretty easy with their barcode system to be able to detect whether or not the card that you're having graded, as well as if they're sending pictures. And then, of course, you can already see, well, this card is not as good of a grade as what it says on the barcode, and you can just get your money refunded by eBay. Like, you can just look at the card. Versus the booster box, there's been so much intricacy in regards to scamming. So that's, of course, what's very important. So yeah, I think it could be really good. Hadn't watched a Pokemon movie before. Was surprised how much I liked it. I mean, I think I watched 2000 movies when I was like 10, but I don't remember. Yeah, I've watched the original Pokemon movie. I've watched the Arceus. I have watched the Darkrai. I have watched the Jirachi. Yes, I watched Jirachi. And then I think that's all of the movies I've watched. I've watched a lot of the online series, like I've said, but as far as it goes, that's kind of what I've really watched in regards to a lot of the Pokemon movies. So, but man, hold on one quick second, guys. I'm gonna grab some water because my voice is parched. Oh my goodness. Oh, so many questions, guys. You guys make me get water. I appreciate it. So many questions. Man, I talk so fast, bro. I talk so fast. Oh, I'm on crack sometimes, I feel like. I swear. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I will definitely want to take a look into the... Oh, we're at 9:34, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more subs since we've been on. Stony, thanks for stopping by. Good questions so far. I agree. I mean, honestly, you guys ask so many good questions. I absolutely love it. Is the eBay system supposed to work like StockX? Not to my knowledge. I mean, I guess what are you referencing? Are you talking about for their service that they're offering? That's going to be, are you talking about their service that they're going to be potentially offering? Because I can't answer that. But I mean, if we're talking about how eBay in general works, I mean, it's pretty much just an open buyer's market. And then, of course, some people can list things on eBay for, you know, auctions. And if you buy it, you buy it. If you don't, it doesn't get sold. I've been buying a lot of collection boxes. I think you pick the right ones. They could outperform almost anything. 1000%, Travis. 1000%. Yeah, no, especially, and I think too, Travis, if you pick the right ones at the right price, that's gold. That's straight gold. Same thing goes with the ultra premium. I think if you get it for 90 or 120, you're absolutely looking golden. I mean, you can get it for 150, 200. I don't think it's a bad price by any means. So, because I think the value of it is like 300 to 400 if you talk about the actual like contents inside. But yeah, if you get the right premium boxes at the right price, bro, I still have so many of like, I have a ton of the Marnies from Champion's Path. I have a ton of the Crobats and Dragapults from Shiny V. I still have a ton of the Mad Party Pink collections. So I do have a lot of the collection boxes and as well as the premium collection boxes, so I agree. StockX does authentication too as well before they ship out. I see what you're saying, Frosty. Yeah, I have absolutely no clue then. Cannot answer that question, Koga. Cannot answer that question. I will have to look into it more. Yeah, the middleman authentication part, yeah. Definitely gonna have to look at it. Patrick, thanks for stopping by, brother. Hope you're having a great afternoon. I am having a great afternoon. Seriously, I've had quite a bit of people stop by the channel, so I can't thank you guys enough for checking me out. And yeah, no, if you really and you guys have been asking me really good questions, so I really appreciate that. I think the chat and chills are kind of going to be what my kind of future is going to be, and then some point it's going to be live streams where I kind of have people stop by and I'll do interviews with them. But yeah, no, I mean, this will definitely be more of like a Q&A sesh on Tuesdays, Thursdays. And if it is a little bit slower, then I will probably focus on just kind of playing video games. And then for those people that want to watch me play video games, a specific one, or if they want to just play games with me and I just live stream it or whatever, then I'll probably come down to that. But as far as it goes today, I've had a lot of questions, so I'll just keep answering them. Poke Family TV, hello everyone, first time here. Hey, welcome to the channel, Poke Family. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping and supporting the channel. I really appreciate you being here, seriously. Can't thank all you guys enough. I mean, we've dropped 24 subs. I mean, or not drop, but we've gained 24 subs since I posted last night's video. Since honestly, I woke up this morning. So seriously, can't thank you guys enough. We are absolutely burning through. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, if we keep up this pace, not saying it's gonna happen, but we could hit 1K subs by the end of the month, and we're at the 27th right now. We've got about 4 more days, so we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. So it'll be exciting to see if we can hit that number. If we don't, obviously, I mean, guys, we're hitting that so soon. And monetization, here we come. And more pack giveaways, guys. That's going to be really exciting. So I'm going to be dropping so much money on giving you guys free packs. But it's super worth it to me at the end of the day. Because I'm helping grow a community of awesome people such as you guys. Julio, so if you had to choose, ooh, these are my favorite questions. Honestly, I know a lot of people are like super sketched about financial advice, which I always make it clear that I'm not gonna, if it's specific, like if I have $1,000, what are you gonna buy? Like, I'm never gonna answer those kind of questions. Like, if I'm being honest, I'll be vague about it and I'll tell you to watch my videos. But as far as it goes, if you're telling me like specific, if I were in my shoes, then I can give you that kind of information, but it's just not financial advice. So I enjoy these kind of questions. If you had to choose one ETB versus one booster box in terms of investing, which one would you choose? I know you said you like ETBs because of the risk reward, but I guess if you had to choose, which one would it be? Easy. I would choose either if it were me personally, I think this is a pretty easy one. I've been trying to collect both, but at least popular sets I get ETBs and the popular sets I get booster boxes. Honestly, I think that's a pretty easy one. Pokemon Center, booster or Elite Trainer boxes. I mean, the thing is, the reason, not only have historically Elite Trainer boxes performed much better, especially when it comes to the artwork collectability of it, but on the second part as well, when you're talking about they just created Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, sign me up for that. That's going to be even more scarce when it comes to them being printed. I mean, you look at Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, they're not even shipping those out anymore. And some of the artwork, like what they've done with the Fusion Strike one, I mean, you can see that right there. Fusion Strike one's right there. I love the coloring on that. So I think they've done a great job with it. So me personally, Pokemon Center Celebrations Elite Trainer box. That's kind of what I would say. So that's what I would say. I would probably choose that. And if I'm going to compare it against something, Evolving Skies booster box. That will be the battle of the next 5 years, in my personal opinion. If we're talking about in the Sword and Shield era, those are the two to compete. I would love to come back and look and see within the next couple of years which one is going to perform better from a percentage perspective. Keep that in mind, of course, because it's like $65 for the Pokemon Center exclusive. And of course, if you were to able to get it, if we're saying, like $100, $90, then obviously that will be the battle in my personal opinion. But love that question. Adrian, no, it just went up. Where'd it go? Your videos are awesome. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that, Adrian. Seriously, I mean, every time you guys send me kind works, I can't help but put a smile on my face. What do you think about Reshiram Charizard Walmart box? It seems like there's a ton of them on the second market. I also think a lot of people cannot. collect them because of that. Travis, I actually just a customer actually asked me that question earlier, so you can rewind it and I'll give you a little bit more in depth, but kind of briefly telling you what I think about it. I think it's a great opportunity. I've seen a lot of it pop up at Walmart. A lot of the secondary markets have started to go for MSRP, so I think that as far as it goes right now, good opportunity, especially if you can get it at MSRP. My only concern, being able to store it, finding custom boxes for it is kind of difficult, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it'll do really well, especially because it is a Charizard promo box. Good on you for being patient with the guy in the last stream. You always remind me, you always remind us of options are speculation, but he couldn't help but try to convince you. And here's the thing, Patrick, I think what I learned from that video specifically, last video, and it's funny you bring this up, is some people are just trolls, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was just trolling me, because obviously in my mind, when I was having that conversation with him, I came at it from the perspective of he didn't have malice intent, and he was just trying to have a conversation with me. But every time I brought up like statistics and I brought up my argument for why I thought that what he was saying was wrong, and I tried persuading him to my perspective, he would just come out with me with an emotional answer or kind of like a trollish response. And that was at the point where I just had to not play into it, because I felt like at this point he was just messing with me. Whether he was or not, obviously you got to be able to pick your battles. You can't get too heated about this kind of stuff. As you guys probably are aware, I'm a pretty relaxed, chill kind of dude. Like, I don't get really upset about anything, so I'm not going to let some troll get to me. But, I try convincing the guy, can't change his mind, whether he's trolling me or not. I'm just going to let it go, It's just how it is. You got to end things where you end it and don't think too deeply about it. Travis, this is kind of random, but do you think Lance's Charizard box will outperform it? That's a great question. Lance's Charizard box, let's take a look at that actually. We're going to open that up and see TCG Player Online. Oh no. We're going to say Lance's chart. Is it going to show the box or is it just going to show the card? I don't know I don't think it's going to. So we're just going to look up celebrations. So if we're talking about the regular Lance's Charizard Collection Celebrations box, I think that the Walmart will perform better. I think the Walmart's going to perform better. I mean, I don't even know why I looked it up. In my personal opinion, I think the Walmart's going to destroy. I think the reason why, in my personal opinion, is the reason why it's going to destroy is because the Lance's Charizard box was heavily printed for celebrations. The Walmart exclusive Reshiram GX Gold box, which honestly, I should go pick some up. I saw some the other day at Walmart, but I don't like to scalp. Like, that's not my MO. If I were to buy some, I'd probably buy like one a day just to be like, I'm just going to buy one a day because, other people have the opportunity to buy some. Plus, there's so many opportunities in the market. I don't need to go to some Walmart unless I'm really trying to add to my collection. But I think it'll perform better because it's a Walmart exclusive. There wasn't a heavy amount being printed. With that being said, if in and of itself the cards were reversed, I still think that the Lance's Charizard would perform better just purely because it would be a Walmart exclusive. But since the gold is a Walmart exclusive, on top of the fact of the matter that it is a gold Reshiram Charizard exclusive box, I think it will definitely smack the Lance's Charizard out of the water because it's going to have a lot more opportunities for printing, or it's already been printed so much more heavily. Anonymous! Hey, thanks for stopping by, Anonymous. Pokemon Center ETBs are just permanently in stock now. I think they printed 9... That's definitely not true, Anonymous. They're definitely not permanently in stock. Nothing will ever be permanently in stock, or else that would just crash markets forever, and that would never be healthy for the state of the Pokemon market. I think, obviously, you're going to have... even what they've done right now. We can take a look right now, guys. We can go right now and we can take a look and see what they have on the Pokemon Center website. Here, let's take a look right now. So we go Pokemon Center, right? So we go to the Pokemon Center website, look up Elite Trainer boxes, right? So we look at Elite Trainer boxes. We say to ourselves, they have this one and this one sold out. This has been sold out for months. If it were permanently in stock, they'd still have it available. That's just the reality of it. Oh. Don't mind if I switch screens real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I might have to put in some of my card information because it looks like they're available. Let's see if they are actually, though. If they are available, that would be pretty neato. Because I told you guys I'm going to be picking some up, but I just want to double check since we're on the site. I'm going to drop this right now. I'll let you guys know if it goes through, but if it does go through, that'll be huge. Place pre-order. Come on, do it to me, Pokeball. Oh, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Those people that don't know that just saw what I just did. The pre-order for the Brilliant Star Elite Trainer boxes, Pokemon Center exclusive, are available. Just letting y'all know. Let's see if the Celebrations one are available. Celebrations unavailable currently. Okay. Are the Fusion Strike ones available? Fusion Strike are available. Ooh, I love the Fusion Strike one too. I think they're beautiful. Check out. We're gonna check out some of those as well. See if I can get it. Let's see if I can actually get it though. That's the big thing. If I can actually get it, that'll be nice. I would love to be able to get some. But man, I am addicted to these Elite Trainer box exclusives from Pokemon Center. It did go through. Guys, both the Fusion Strike, I'm telling you guys right now, for those people watching, both the Fusion Strike and the Brilliant Star Elite Trainer boxes are available currently right now. And I just bought a case of each. So, not financial advice. You can do whatever you want, but they're available. So that's pretty neato that you're able to purchase them right now. Wow, that's so sick. Oh, I'm so stoked that they just popped up like that. That is awesome, guys. That is awesome. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting really excited because I'm just thinking about how awesome that is that they're available right now. Pre-order, add to cart. Let's see if I can get some more. Let's see if I can double down, guys. Let's see if I can double down, get my third case for the Brilliant Star. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. Call me nuts, but I just absolutely am addicted to what these could be long term. Let's see, place the pre-order, and will it go through a third time? It will go through a third time, guys. Gosh dang it, that is crazy that things are happening just for those people that are checking that out. I'm sorry about that, guys. I know I didn't answer your guys' recent questions. Fasty, the Volume Skies Pokemon Center, since there were 2 types, will do the best because the set is bananas. Honestly, Fasty, it'll definitely do amazing. I can't say it'll do better than such as Celebrations. Obviously, we did a breakdown in some of my older videos where we kind of saw that taking a look at like Generations perform really well, but I definitely agree with you. It's going to perform so good. In my personal opinion, not financial advice. Curious on your thoughts of using PSA pop reports to guess total population. Example, there are 400 Gold Star Kyogres graded, 200 Call of Legend Shiny Kyogres graded. Are there less total? Ooh, I see what you're saying. Wait, do I see what you're saying? Oh, are there less total Call of Legends Kyogres? I see what you're saying. So general. That's a great question, AJ, and I do that a little bit, but in regards to that, it's hard for me to really kind of speculate over that when talking about just general singles. Of course, I like to take a look at the overall market when it comes to singles, comparing on PSA population report 1 for 1. But does that really give you a true indication on what's available in the market? Not necessarily, but it definitely could help you out with that. If you're saying to yourself, specifically Call Legends, you know, it was during the Hard Gold, Soul Silver era. It wasn't a super popular era, but EX wasn't a super popular era either. But to be fair, Kyogre Gold Star was one of the main popular cards. So I think if I were to answer that, my biggest flaw or counter argument to that would be if you're talking about the specific main kind of big pull from that EX era set was the Gold Star Kyogre versus when it comes to the Call Legends, there were multiple different Gold Stars, so doesn't guarantee that as far as it goes that specifically there was less printed. It just could mean that there was a less of an interest to grade it. So I would take that with a grain of salt. AJ, another thing he said, there's a difference in how old the sets are and how expensive the card is, and maybe there's a lot currently being graded. I mean, you never know, my guy. I mean, I definitely think there is, of course, you know, I think, of course, there is a little bit of a correlation, but as we've seen with Level X era booster box prices compared to the individual cards have skyrocketed while the booster box prices have plummeted. So you got to really take a lot of that into consideration. Travis, yeah, that guy last stream seemed to be just be trolling, or he was an idiot. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, no, 100% Travis. I'm right there. I'm bored with you. Wiz, I just sent you a message about the website slab. Hopefully you got it. I will double check it right now on stream. I got it. You just sent a contact form. I will respond to that. Actually, you know what? I'll respond to that right now. I'll just shoot you over my address. Respond now. Here we go. I'll just send you over my information. Hopefully I'm not doing this live on stream. Here, I'm literally just gonna send you, so you can just do it like this. Okay, so just responded. That is exactly all of my information if you want to send it to that address. So there you go. Wiz, thank you for that. Travis, how much do the Reshiram boxes retail for anyway? $49.99. 49. Oh wait, no, $59.99. $59.99 if I'm correct, actually. Scalpers are taking the joy for this generation's kids. 100% agree. Thankfully, scalpers are starting to get diminished because so far, a lot of scalpers have really just started to go back to regular day life, and the margins have gotten down a lot. So, pretty stoked about that. Stony TMT, what's that? Is that an island grown face? Oh, I assume that's in response to me just buying some of the booster boxes. I just bought 2 boxes last night. Nice, Michael. Sealed Vintage seems to outperform singles from their sets. Do you see otherwise? What time price does this happen? I think, Patrick, I agree with you. I mean, sealed is definitely safer because it's deflationary compared to singles being inflationary, because obviously as more sealed gets opened, more singles become available on the market, whereas as more sealed gets open, there's less sealed on the market. As far as it goes, at what time price does this happen? If we want to take a look at it from the current perspective of modern, if we take a look and say, let's say Evolving Skies, right? They just recently had a reprint, and it's been several months since the last reprint happened back in, December, November area, and it's January, and it's been like, a month or two, and you've already seen the price turn around from the demand since we've had the last reprint. So if that doesn't tell you how much the price can really turn around, Patrick, then, it's crazy, man. The turnaround time for demand can go like that. It can go so fast. So that's definitely something to take into consideration in regards to the turnaround time. Obviously, I wasn't an investor at the time during, sealed vintage compared to singles, but I would definitely say that if we can do a correlation or comparison to some of the modern sets, you can probably make a speculation and say, it's probably around that kind of time period initially when the set was released. But if we're talking about long term, it will see the most effect, in my personal opinion, in market cycles at this point, because it's such it just correlates, WotC at least, correlates so much strongly to the overall just general performance of the Pokemon market. Compared to ultra modern, just correlating predominantly to the general hype of the market set as well as the overall print. So hopefully that makes sense. But I would say just in times of demand of the market, that's when you'll really start to see the true effect of sealed vintage. So like, let's say, for example, 2016, you saw a sealed product and single cards go up. Obviously, we had the kind of Pokemon Go bubble. Prices went up. You saw that kind of realized difference between sealed compared to singles. Prices crash. Several years later, 2020, you saw it realized again. It took 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years if you even want to say it, before we saw that real correction and occurrence of a new market, which is where, new market bubble, that's where you really start to see. So I would say that's kind of my personal take, 2 to 3 years if we're talking about next market cycle. But, next market cycles, it's no guarantee it's going to happen, every 2 to 3 years, especially as this market grows more and more. It'll be interesting to see how things change over time. Vegas, they've been in stock for over a week. Well, actually, Vegas, I tried getting some yesterday and they weren't available. So they've been said they're available in stock, but a lot of the time it goes in and out. So, but to be fair, one thing I will say to that, Vegas, what you're saying is it definitely is a good sign that we've been able to buy so much of it so easily, because they go out of cycle really easily as the new set comes out. So pretty excited about that. Wiz just picked up 4 billion stars too. Nice, let's go, my guy. Did you buy the Chilling Reign Pokemon Center ETB exclusive or miss out on those? I missed out on those, AJ, and I'm really sad about it. I'll buy some for my collection just because I want to buy them for my collection. Same with the Evolving Skies. But to be honest with you, especially when it comes to focusing and doubling down on the Elite Trainer Box Pokemon Center exclusives, I don't feel like I really missed out that much because I think the Pokemon Center exclusive for both Brilliant Star and the celebrations will perform way better than Chilling Reign's exclusives. So I'm not too worried about it. I'll just probably grab some for my own personal collection. Wisdom. I'm going to trade one to someone for... Wait, I'm going to trade one to someone for their Fusion Strike one? Well, no. Wisdom, I mean, obviously you can do that if you want, but you can literally go right now. I literally just bought some Fusion Strike ones. So if you want to go buy one right now, you can for 50 bucks. If you want to trade it, obviously you can, but I'm just saying you can literally go right now and buy it. Travis, yeah, the Fusion Strike and Brilliant ones have been in stock for a while. I bought 4 of the Brilliant Star and 2 of the Fusion yesterday. I'd probably buy more. I have so much other stuff I want to buy. Bro, I know. That's the great thing about when these markets crash, guys. That's the thing. Everyone gets nervous. Everyone gets scared. Everyone hates these market crashes. But you guys who listen to this channel, you guys have had a very similar amount of sentiment that I've had. This is the amazing opportunity when it comes to buying product, especially when it comes to like these Pokemon Center exclusives that are in stock, because long term, guys, I can't wait to look and see how this is going to perform long term in like 3 to 5 years. I would love, you know, Lord willing, we're going to be, as a channel, we're going to continue to, you know, be strong and continue for that long. But if we were to go back, look at it and, you know, have like a timestamp of one of my older videos and be like, well guys, look at the value, that's going to be such a cool video to make. I'll be excited to do that. Vor and Joe, I am so sorry. I don't speak Russian or Czech, or excuse my ignorance in American. Don't know what you're saying. I apologize. Travis, me too, bro. Nice. Stony, yeah, let's go, my guy. About so much stuff I want to buy, bro. Yeah, seriously, I'm right there with you guys. There's a lot of opportunities right now. Happy shopping. Yeah, exactly. Spencer Buff, do you have any tips? Love it. Do you have any tips for someone who wants to make side money from Pokemon? Would you just buy a case, booster box cases, and long term, or start small and sell extra credit on TCG Player? Great question, Spencer. I think there's multiple different pieces of advice I can really give you to that, and it really just stems on how far you're trying to go, what you're willing to do in regards to your kind of side hustle. If you're thinking about wanting to do something short term, I think trying to find, you know, Facebook Marketplace, trying to find, you know, local Craigslist, local pickups, or just local deals that, or just deals that you can find on eBay that you think is worth flipping, then I think you could find opportunity there. But you got to be able to really put in the work and kind of get a system for yourself. That can obviously, especially if it's a side hustle, you know, it's got to be one of those things where, you know, you got to say to yourself, how much time are you really willing to put into it to make it a side hustle? Now, if it were me personally, since I do have to allocate my time differently because I am busy all the time, in my personal opinion, if I were in your shoes when it comes to an overall side hustle perspective, what I would probably do is, let's take a look at Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusives, right? If we take a look at Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusive, for example, right? So if we say to ourselves, let's take a look. Let's go from low to high. Low to high. And we can take a look. This will probably be a lot easier to kind of filter it out. So if we go to Pokemon Trainer, Pokemon Center Trainer, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusives. Goodness gracious, such a tongue twister. Don't know why it took me so long to say all that. So if we say to ourselves, you could have the opportunity. Now, obviously, this is an Evolving Sky set, but please take everything I say with a grain of salt. But hypothetically speaking, if you bought a case of these, right? You bought them for $50 back in August, right? You're now saying to yourself, September, October, November, December, January, right? You're saying you sold it for upwards of around $100, take away all the fees, yada, yada, yada. You're probably more or less looking at a $30 profit. $30 off of 50, what your initial investment was, you're talking more along the lines of about a 60% gain. My personal opinion, if I was in your shoes and if I were trying to allocate my time, I would probably say buy Brilliant Stars, not financial advice, not financial advisor, buy Brilliant Stars Center Elite Trainer Box exclusives, buy them, hold them for 4 to 5 months, offload them, take the extra capital that I accumulated, do it again, and reload. That's just how I would do it personally. Of course, there's no guarantee that as far as it goes that this is going to be a consistent method that's going to work out. But if we're just taking a look at what history is telling us within the short period of time, then I would say it's definitely going to be fruitful. And if you want to take that period and you want to even accumulate it even longer and say to yourself, why not? Why wait 3, 4, 5 months? Why not wait 6 months to a year? You can totally take a more of a long-term approach. But if you're trying to do a lot of a like short-term kind of approach, like kind of flipping method, I think that's more of a medium-term approach that I personally like, because it allows me to continuously bankroll into new capital. Because if you think about it this way, and we'll do some math on stream. Let's say you start off with $1,000, right? And with that $1,000, let's say you were able to buy the Evolving Skies Pokemon Center exclusives. Let's say you were able to get this one particular, right? $1,000 divided by 50. I don't know why I'm doing this because I already know the math in my head, but it's 20, right? You say you buy 20. You say to yourself that you're going to be able to, let's say you are able to sell all of them individually with accounting for shipping for $100. You say 100 times 0.85, right? 85, and then you say minus 10. So here's actually the more accurate 25. That's about 50% margin when you take about what you put into it, if we're trying to consider the fees if you're trying to sell it on TCG Player, as well as the overall shipping fees. Of course, if you sell it offsite for more, then great. That's just what we're going to go off of now. But you say to yourself, you got 20 boxes, got $25, you just made yourself 500 extra bucks. That's 1,500 extra bucks that you just got in the span of, you know, like I said, August, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months. You bankroll that over, just do this again, and just keeps compounding. Just literally, we can just do 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5 times and 1.5. You can take $1,000 investment, multiply it by, what? How many times did I do this? I did this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, span of 2 years. You can take a $1,000 investment and, you know, compound it into that. Obviously, there's no guarantee that you're going to have every single set perform as well as Evolving Skies. But as far as it goes, there's going to be those banger sets. And as you accumulate more and more of those banger sets, you're just going to keep bankrolling more and more of that over time. So that's just kind of my personal opinion. I mean, look at this one, guys. This is, you know, as low as 81. Market high is 101. Like, you can find so much opportunity in this. And look, if you want to, you can save on shipping and sell both of them at the same time. I mean, guys, this is... there's opportunity there. Obviously, you're saying to yourself, well, the Chilling Reign ones are not as, you know, they're not as valuable, but the Chilling Reign one's only at 8 because there was an error. So you can't really go off the Chilling Reign ones. I would go mainly off the Evolving Skies and the Fusion Strike ones. With Fusion Strike, you bought for 50, going for 70. They're still in print. You can literally go buy them right now. You can go buy them for $50 right now. Here's the math, guys. Obviously, it's not a ton of money, but if you say to yourself, you're buying it here, and let's take a look. Let's click on it, right? Let's take a look. You can click on it. $65 plus that's $80 if you're talking about item price only. Now, of course, if we're talking price plus shipping, then you're saying about $73. You say to yourself, $73, right? Times 0.85 minus 9, depending upon where you're shipping. You're going to make a couple bucks off of doing it, and it's still in print right now. It's not worth your time, but if you just say to yourself it's already at $70 and it's still in print, you're still able to literally go buy it on the site. I'm just saying, guys, that from a long-term perspective, if you really want to bankroll and flip it and just buy more with your capital, bankroll and flip it and buy more, you could totally make money doing this down the road if you're looking at a 4 to 5 year or 4 to 5 month hold. But that's just my personal opinion. So that's just what I think. So, but just, guys, so that's just how I would do it. To answer your question, Spencer, I know I went pretty in depth, so hopefully that makes sense. Wiz, my wife is gonna kill me if I do, but I'm gonna ask her next week if it's still available. That's why, Wiz, if you can do it, probably you can't. But I got lucky. I got my girlfriend hooked into Pokemon, and so she supports my Pokemon addiction. And we actually opened some Pokemon product last night, so pretty hyped about that. Travis, I'm so glad I'm a lonely man with no wife so I can buy Pokemon without hindrances. Yeah, no, you got to get yourself a baddie, Travis, that also likes Pokemon. That's the goal. Pick and choose, baby. Picked up a case of Evolving Skies EVs for $3.90, holding long term. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, the Evolving Skies, not the Pokemon Center exclusive, but the Evolving Skies regular ones themselves will still perform well, in my personal opinion. Of course, I think the center ones will perform better because they're going to be more scarce, but still. Sad Higeki, thanks for stopping by. My girlfriend hates me collecting Pokemon. She doesn't understand. Bro, they never understand, you know? I got lucky. Mine understood, but my last couple girlfriends I've dated, they never understood. They just didn't get it. They didn't get any of this. I would try to explain any of the stuff I like talk about in my videos, and they just give me a blank space and be like, whatever you're passionate about, I support you, sweetie. And I'm like, thanks, guys. I'm really glad that you guys totally everything I just said went over your head, but you know what I mean? As long as they support you in it, which, you know, in their minds, they're like, you're spending what on opening what? Like, you know, they want a little bit of money to be made, especially if you're talking about, you're like, no, babe, I don't think you understand. This is a long-term investment. I'm making money off of this. And they're just like, whatever you say, you're on crack. So I totally get that. eBay, and I see XY Evolutions booster box for $5.60, and I can't afford that now, but I could. Don't want to get scammed, Wiz. Well, this grading service is going to be available for eBay, or it should be available, so could be a good look into it. But let's take a look and see what you're talking about. Because if we can see XY Evolutions booster box. XY Evolutions booster box is going for $5.29. Hot Pokemon. Here's the problem with this. It's fake as frick. I can tell you that off the gate just looking at it. 80% positive feedback. 6 total reviews. 80% positive feedback with only 6 reviews. This seller is away until 7th. Guys, 2 negatives. And this guy just started selling. Seller wrote this to me when I suggested scam. That should be common sense. If I had your specific traffic, blah, blah, blah. This guy never responds. Super rude behavior. If anybody else with the nicer people than reply. I mean, this guy just started. It's probably a scam. Probably too good to be true. That's just my personal opinion. You want a verified seller that's got more listings. That's just kind of how I would look at it. I do know that on some actual... I know you can get it for as cheap as $600 on some marketplaces on Facebook. So I actually recommend looking into that. Wiz. Pokey Family says, I'm interested in building my channel and ultimately getting into doing box breaks. Any advice on the best way to get started? Yes, of course. So the hard thing I can tell you, Pokey Family, is the reason why I was able to do box breaks is because of the prices that I offer. So the big thing about it, Pokey Family, is you gotta have a following that you're able to build off the get-go based off of offering good pricing. And as you build up that following and more people start to get attracted to your channel, whether it be because you're entertaining or whether it be because they just like your prices, you got to offer something to them. And as you continue to grow that following, then you can start to hold more leverage and be aware of what you're able to offer certain things at. When I first started my channel, I would just throw up Pokemon pack at the prices which I thought was fair back when the demand was high, and I would try and do at least 1 week of, pack openings. And I had consistent people that were homies that would buy from me, and I can't thank those people enough. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do right now. So it really just comes down to be consistent with your breaks. If you can get people, make sure that when you're selling them at good prices, and understand too, if that means starting off at a loss, you're going to have to take that into consideration when it comes to the business. I was lucky enough to get in at the perfect time to where I was able to have enough margins to not start at a loss. But when it came to a lot of my, Chilling Reigns, Battle Styles, packs and Fusion Strike break packs, I was selling them for less than I was buying them for, but I was making my money off the breaks, bulk cards. Obviously, not everyone's going to be able to do that. But with that being said, it's still something to take into consideration, because people like Durham, that's kind of what their biggest thing is when they sell pack prices. They look at the demand, they adjust to the demand, and then they make all their money off of bulk. That's kind of my personal recommendation, Pokey Family, if you're going to do that. Luckily, I've been able to develop a lot of my kind of brand based off of my knowledge of economics, as well as my website, specifically just selling sealed. So I've been able to get exposure from that. I actually got a lot of my exposure too from the Pokemon TCG Discord. So really learning to brand yourself is also going to be a huge thing, Poke family. So just take a lot of those things kind of into consideration when it comes to trying to get things started. So get a distributor if you can, get the product. If you can afford to, start building up a brand through social media, whether it be building a website, whether it be doing it through Facebook, Discord, Instagram. Then once you start to build up that brand, see if you can get consistent people to buy from you, depending upon what the prices are. If you have to lose money, you have to lose money. Try and make it off of selling bulk. Start a TCG player account, sell bulk that way. It's been profitable for me. And you can hopefully build relationships from there, which will help you to eventually grow over time. Spencer, I definitely want to snowball the profits to more Pokemon product. I'd like to use some of the profits to also pay off personal collection items I want to buy. No, that's great, Spencer. I think that's awesome. And that's the thing, man. You will have that opportunity to where if you want to snowball, you can snowball. And if you want to, you can snowball a large portion of what you've made, and then once you start to really increase that bankroll that you've snowballed, then you can take a little bit and throw it in the side on expanding your overall collection. And if you decide you're done with collection pieces of certain areas and you want to transfer, then you can sell that collection piece item. That's the cool thing about this market that you can do. All right, a little bit of water time, and then I'm going to respond to what Travis said. Little bit of water time. Travis, I could have bought 4 of each of the Evolving Skies Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, but didn't want to be a jerk at the time and keep others from getting it. Just got one of each. Regret it now because half of them went to scalpers. Anyway, yeah, that's the hard thing, Travis. It's definitely the dilemma. That's actually reminds me of a story. When I was at Walmart about a month and a half, 2 months ago, the lady at the front, I have a good relationship with her. Her name's Lori. She allows me to actually buy whatever I want because she knows how I am as an individual. She knows what my intentions are when it comes to buying Pokemon product. I'm just, I'll buy 1 item, 2 items, just collect it. But she's like, literally, if you want, you can buy as much as you want from me. And she is in charge of protecting basically the product from scalpers. I remember she had hidden a Celebrations Ultra Premium collection and asked me if I wanted to buy it from her for $120. I said, honestly, go bless another kid. And hopefully she did. I haven't talked to her since because I don't go into Walmart that often. But it was one of those things where, in my eyes, I saw the opportunity to bless someone else in getting a ultra premium collection that was less fortunate or less likely to be able to get their hands on it. Obviously, it's a little bit different because in your situation, you're doing it over online, and of course, there are going to be scalpers that are not going to be monitored in regards to who's going to stop them. So it definitely sucked, but yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, my guy. The ES1 will perform better, not just because ES is better set, but because the arts on them are unique. The Sierra ones barely look different from the normal ones. Yeah, no, for sure, my guy, 100%. Yeah, the designs are not anything special. They'll just perform well because they're Pokemon Center, they're rare, and they're Evolving Skies. But I do think Fusion actually will perform pretty well based on the art difference, and I think it has that extra kind of collectability value to it. My girlfriend buys me Pokemon every now and then. Dude, Jerry, my boy's got the hookup. Let's go, dude. That's sick. Got your girl getting you Pokemon packs. Lucky you, my guy. Sad says, WFO streams. I listen to you almost every night while we're keeping the content. Oh, WFO, my guy. That's so nice of you to say. Seriously, my guy. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot to me that you listen to me. Seriously, kind words. I mean, my face is going to break from smiling. Seriously, I appreciate that. Evo, I trade mine for 2 cases of Evolving Skies booster boxes. You traded your... What am I missing? Did I miss one of yours? What did I miss? What did you trade for 2 cases of Evolving Skies booster boxes? What did you trade for 2 cases of Evolving Skies booster boxes? Huh. Why am I missing? Did I miss one of your messages? Why am I not seeing what you said? Sorry about that. I think it's over $750 for Eevee to check it out. Oh, oh, wait. Are you talking about your evolution? Are you talking about an Evo booster box? If that's what you're talking about, Evo, that's a great steal. I think it's over $750 for eBay to check it out. Yeah, eBay, it's definitely a lot more expensive. I mean, we can obviously look at recently sold. I know I've seen it as low as 600 though. I know that. Do not, no. It's fake. I mean, look, 670. Don't look at this one. One bid, yeah, right. 725. Yeah, so it's you know, high 60s, low 70s is kind of what you're looking at right now for the market. Gump Brave, what up, Eli? What up, Gump? How's your day going? Hopefully all is well. Sad, I don't mean to flex. But I got a case for $250. But that's difference, honestly, won't really matter how long term. I remember you were telling me that the other day, bro. You're a big flex on me because those ETBs will be around $150 a piece in 3 years. Let me think. 150 in 3 years. Is that outlandish to say? When you're telling me that we've got Rebel Clash going for 200% more or 100% more, sorry, than what it was going for about a year, 2 years ago? I think 150 for a set that's way more in demand. I don't think in 3 years I don't think that's a unrealistic expectation. So I can definitely see that, Travis. You gonna be playing Legends Arceus on the channel? That's a great question. Has Legends Arceus come out yet? I haven't really been following, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. I don't know, man. I'll probably do it in my like Q&As. I'll probably play the game and then do Q&As with it. But if I'm being completely honest, with the recent form pictures, it's turned me off a lot to the game. But I'll definitely be playing it for sure. I'll buy it and be playing it. Yeah, I'll definitely be playing it on the channel and we'll check it out for sure. So just might not be the main focus when we're talking about stuff. Travis, all speculation and not financial advisor, of course. Travis. Oh, I love that. It's so funny. You asked. That's hilarious. Nice. Just glanced at it. I was like, this must be a scam. Appreciate you checking it out. Yeah, no, Wiz, biggest thing, really check the reviews, how many they have. And even if someone has like 20 to 30 and they're 100%, you can get a review for buying. So if someone wanted to, they could literally go buy paper clips and they could buy 30 paper clips. Like they could buy paper clips from someone on eBay 30 different times, get that 30 rating gold star, and then you'll be like, oh, they've got 30 rated. Like it's so easy like to fake having a good rating. So you have to be really careful in making sure you know. Sad, do you think card grading will continue to go down? I have Rainbow Pikachu and Rainbow Mew. I want to send it and get graded, but not sure if I should wait. Good question, Sad. I think I talked about this actually in one of my videos. I do think it will over time as the demand starts to go down. PSA, really, they're going to be sending in their kind of bulk submission grading discounts based on how the demand is in the market. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and said, look, bulk grading is going to come out to around 20 to 25 bucks. That's how it's going to be. And if it doesn't sell at that price, then they're going to have to lower it. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold at that price because the demand is still relatively high for grading. But if it doesn't, then you'll see them adjust. And they will always have like quarterly specials. They do that a lot as well. So I definitely would say patience is key. Patience is key. What do you consider a distributor? A wholesaler or an LGS store? Or is it something completely different? Distributor is someone who you have a licensing agreement to sell Pokemon product with. They specifically get product from the Pokemon company. Distributors are then, their job is to send you Pokemon product, the retailer. It's something that it gets mixed up a little bit for sure. LGSs are considered to be retailers. They get product as well from distributors. There's actually a distributors list that you can go look up online on the Pokemon website. My distributors, for those people that are interested, are Magazine Exchange. They're actually located in Oregon, so shout out to them. And then on top of that as well is ACD Distribution. I would love to get more distributors, but most of them at this point are only accepting new customers that are LGS stores, so it makes it kind of hard for me. Dang, man, how'd you get for 250? I remember you saying that, I think, what was it, Travis? You said you had to blow a hooker in an alley or something. Isn't that how you got 250? You said the dude was, like, really, like, looking for a good time, and you said 250 for your evolving size booster box? Isn't that what you told me? That's what I could be completely wrong, but that's what I heard. I'm just kidding. Would you recommend selling small packs of bulk or large ones? What do you mean when you say, would you say recommend selling small packs of bulk or large ones? So here's what I'll tell you exactly what I do, Poke family. Here's what I did. Bought Pokemon packs. Sold the Pokemon packs on the stream. Made it cheaper for me to ship because I kept the bulk and I kept the commons, uncommons. And then if you get a holo, you keep the holo. If you don't get a holo, you don't keep the holo. That's just how it is. Make sure you get anything shiny in the pack. I then take all the extra stuff, organize it by rare, common, uncommon, and energies. Now, of course, they're closed currently, but before, when their bulk submissions were open, I would take all the valuable common, uncommon cards, and I would send them into Safari Zone because they're buying them for about 4 cents. Literally, I would send in like 10 to 20,000 at a time, make anywhere between 400 to like $600. And then if I had V cards that were worth around $1, I'd also send it to them because it'd be a lot less time and no fees to send it in to them doing that. Now, for the cards that were uncommon, common, specifically looking at trainer cards are where your big money is going to be, especially if you find competitively viable ones like Fusion Strike. There's like this adventure card with like $1.40. You start, selling cases of booster boxes, you start making real money doing that. That's where your real ticket is going to be to making a return on it. So opening a TCG player account up and going and selling those individual cards is definitely the way to go. Wisdom, is it okay for me to make a post on Facebook Marketplace about your site? Because the people of Hawaii can use your hey Wiz, I have absolutely no problem with you marketing for me. Why would I ever want that? Why would I ever not want to say, yo bro, I'll take the support all day, baby? But you live in Hawaii, my guy? That's super cool. What island do you live on? My dad actually lived in Hawaii Kai for a little bit, for like 4 or 5 years, I think. Gump, do you think the flood of product was a perfect storm of distributors and Pokemon holding back product, or was it just a massive drop? I think it was a massive drop. If you think about it, Gump, think about the time in which it usually is when a new set comes out. We had, it's about every 2 to 3 months a new set comes out, right? We had March 19th was Battle Styles. June 12th was Chilling Reign. August 27th, 28th was Evolving Skies. October 8th was Celebrations. How do I remember these dates? I don't know. And then you had November 12th, I think, for Fusion Strike. I'm probably off on some of these days. I feel confident about some of them. But the point that I'm making, every 2 to 3 months. Every 2 to 3 months is typically the time period when you have the new sets come out. It doesn't give you enough time for reprints. Well, guess what happened? The last set we had was back in November. The next set comes out late February. All of November, all of December, all of January, most of February. It's about a 4-month gap. They gave themselves an extra month to month and a half. And so I think it was calculated, potentially, could be wrong, but potentially calculated that they spent an extra month trying to get caught up on specifically just getting product. And I wouldn't be surprised if there definitely was a point. I do think that there is a point in which there was product that was being held onto by the Pokemon company because they wanted to just throw everything all at once on the market. Could be wrong. But I know for a fact distributors are known for holding back product, but I do think that in bigger part it was due to the fact the Pokemon company was just catching up, especially since the demand has started to go down recently. So I asked because I wonder if we might see something similar around Brilliant Stars, specifically for Evolving Skies. I don't see it happening particularly, if I'm being completely honest. I think Evolving Skies could, of course, see a reprint within the next couple of months, but there's no guarantee. Very popular set. Card prices haven't gone down, and obviously Worlds is going to happen in August, although, of course, Evolving Skies won't go out of rotation, but I still wouldn't be surprised if they give them that reprint because they want to make it more affordable because they printed Primal Clash and Roaring Skies into the ground. So wouldn't be surprised if they did the same for Evolving Skies, which could be so many great opportunities to invest in booster boxes and Legion boxes. Evo, so I'd really like to get Cosmic Closed booster boxes and team up booster boxes, but do you think prices will go down in the future, or do you think they will stay around the same? Thanks. Good question, Evo. I've talked about this quite a bit actually on our channel. I actually talked about this in the last video when comparing booster box prices. What I think could potentially happen, and this is kind of what I said. I said once the Sword and Shield, and this is my personal opinion, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I think once we get out of the Sword and Shield era, if there hasn't been a reprint for Cosmic, I think that's the best time to buy Cosmic if you're trying to get into it. Because at that point, it'll be 2 cycles out of all Sun and Moon era product, all Sword and Shield product. They're not going to reprint it at that point. There's been no news since Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield of any XY product being reprinted. There's been product resurfacing, so I think that's your best bet in the next, 2 to 3 years if you're trying to see the prices go down. But in my personal opinion, at that point, it's not going to be a huge dent in the specific market for that set unless there's a massive just amount of product that just resurfaced. But that's personally just because the demand was so much higher for Cosmic compared to like Fates Collide and stuff, so people are just going to eat that up right away. So my personal opinion, if I were in your shoes, I'd wait until the end of the Sword and Shield era cycle. If they don't reprint it by then just buy it then. If they do, great, you were patient, waited, and got a good opportunity. Same applies for team up. Sue Travis, sad my guess is that the store needs to move them quickly, so the drop price, I just happened to log in right after. Yeah, seriously, dude, you just got super lucky. Eli, what happens in the alley stays in the alley. Yeah, right, bro. I'm just giving you crap, obviously. Poke feeling, thanks for this. Yeah, of course, no problem, my guy. Kawhi here? Heck yeah, brother, that's sick. My dream actually, although of course this is one of my dreams, I'm actually potentially looking to move to Arizona because I want to play professional volleyball, and it's actually pretty affordable to go live in Arizona and just drive to tournaments in California on weekends. So I love Hawaii, and the volleyball culture there is great. I don't know if you've ever played before, but yeah, I'm a huge volleyball fan, and I think that specifically when you're talking college, Hawaii is absolutely dominated indoor. So, and they breed such great sand players too. So I love Hawaii. I think they're awesome. And one of my really good friends is actually Hawaiian as well. So I have gone over to his family's house many a times, and I love the culture. I love the food. It's awesome. Wahoo, damn, your dad must be a baller to live in Hawaii, Kai. My dad, how do I want to say this? He went to... my dad definitely dealt with some stuff. He definitely had a dad that did well for himself. Let's just say that. And let me put it for you this way. Although his dad did well at the time, and this was his biological dad without getting into it, because he's, how do I want to say this? He traveled a lot because of his dad, his biological dad. Now, of course, there was a time in which he went and lived with his mom, who was not wealthy by any means. They lived in the ghetto in California for a while. But yeah, in Hawaii Kai, his dad was very wealthy. And they were very, very... He said the one thing, though, that he said that... this is the funniest thing that he always told me. He said, and you probably can understand this, he said, if you're not a local, they're super extremely racist to you. And my dad said what he did is, because my dad was kind of scrappy when he was a kid, coming from living in Santa Ana. Over like right next to Compton. My dad, one of the things he'd always tell me was, Eli, if you ever get in a fight, this is what I did. Don't pick the smallest guy. Don't pick the biggest guy. Pick the guy that you can win a fight with, but the guy that that if you win that fight, they'll respect you. And that's what my dad would always tell me, because he said he'd get into fights all the time in Hawaii. But it was funny because literally his stories he told me of his childhood, like one of his best friends he met when he lived in the ghetto in California, his name's Hector. Dude's the most ghetto guy I've ever met. But he's one of the he's also, it's hard to say, he's like one of the nicest guys I've ever met, but he's also super ghetto. He's one of those guys you like, if you're on his good side, like he's gonna be straight up like a guy you're gonna want to like have on your side. But he's also a scrapper. And so like when it comes to my dad, that's actually how they met. They used to get in fights all the time when they were kids. And not him. Who was it he used to get in fights with all the time? God, it was another friend. But anyway, the point that me saying all this is a lot of the relationships my dad has actually made has actually been in fights. Kind of a random, I don't know why, I just totally went off topic with that. But kind of random, but that's just kind of where my mind went. What's up, Ellie. It's ELI, but close enough. What's up, Pokemon TCG? Nice stream. I do a bunch of live streams too. Hey, that's cool, my guy. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck on that, Stony. Evo, do you invest in much Japanese seal product? I do not, if I'm being completely honest. I've recently started to look into it, specifically with the stamp promos. I have a couple of Japanese products, but I don't heavily invest in it the same, just because I think that as far as it goes right now, there's just so much more opportunity in English, and I feel like the boat was kind of missed with a lot of the promos. But I've been recently looking into it a little bit more, because I do think with such as, like I said, the stamp promos, you really start to see the opportunity open up. I've been listening to the new videos in my headphones at work. Really good stuff. I just usually don't comment because I'm not actually supposed to be on my phone. Hey, bro, I totally appreciate it. I know, dude, you're always listening to me like you're on your phone, dude, so I completely understand that. Guys in Hawaii scrap each other, become good best friends. Bro, literally, Wiz, that's literally my dad's life story. Like, all of his best friends always got into fights with this kid. Like, 95% of them. So that's what happened with one of his buddies, Hector. Bro, it's so funny, too, the story they actually told me. I remember, so he's gotten into fights with a lot of his buddies, but his buddies, Hector specifically, this is such a funny story. Hopefully I don't get to, I'm not even making money, so what do I care? I'm not there yet. So I have a really funny story. So one of my dad's childhood best friends, Hector, right, that he met in California, there was this place called the Blooming Onion, I think was the name of it, and they were at a sports bar, right? And I remember they met each other that night, and I straight up remember my dad and them telling me the story. But apparently they met each other, they kind of hit it off, didn't grab numbers, didn't do anything, but they just were like, hey, you're a pretty cool guy, blah, blah. They just met, right? So later that night, my dad goes home with a girl, right? And come to find out, when he goes back to the girl's house, Hector is there with the girl's roommate. And literally, that was like, bro, what are you doing out here? Oh, dude, I'm just like with this other girl, the roommate. And my dad's like, no way, I'm with the roommate too. And they're like, no way. And that was literally the point where they became best friends. And it was the funniest story that my dad told me that. And I remember asking my, I call him Uncle Hector because he's been in my family for so long. But I remember talking to him, asking about that story. I'm like, bro, that's so legendary. Like, stuff like that is the funniest stuff. It's so random how people will become friends, you know, like whether it be fighting or whether it be finding each other's roommates. That's, you know, it's just funny stories, my guy. Sad, do you think evolution boxes are a good product to hold invest in? Yeah, oh, big time. Yeah, I've been bro, evolution, if we're talking about the regular like evolution like collection boxes, oh yeah, big time, great. If we're talking about booster boxes, good time for sure, bro. I absolutely love evolution's product, period. I think it's all great. I absolutely love it. I got me some VMAX Japanese booster boxes. I feel those are going to be good to have in the future, since they got so many great cards. I mean, honestly, bro, yeah, totally. I mean, especially if you have like V-Star Climax, or if you have like a Shiny V. I mean, bro, those special collection set boxes will perform really well for sure. They'll perform really strong. I heard someone say that they think Bitcoin is better and safer investment than any sealed product right now. Your thoughts? I think that's a dumb statement to say. I think that Bitcoin, I can see the argument being made for a long-term percentage gain being stronger in Bitcoin. But even then, saying safer, I think is really dumb. Because if you're talking about the amount of money that you could make off of Pokemon bankrolling, even during a bear market, compared to just long-term investing with Bitcoin, I think you're going to have a lot of opportunity missed. I mean, just take my argument, for example, with the whole, you know, buying and this is a bear market cycle for Pokemon, right? And if you're saying to yourself, these Pokemon in Elite Trainer boxes still like hold value. If we make that hypothetical statement, so you're able to 50% roll over each and every 4 to 5 months, you make that argument with Bitcoin, you can't do that same thing, because you can still make money in a bear market when it comes to off of Pokemon, if you're just talking about not trading, just specifically holding, versus in Bitcoin, you're only going to be able to do that in times of bear markets, or if you get in a bull in bull markets, you're only going to be able to make money. If you're going to talk about long-term holding, of course, you can technically trade upwards if you're just, trying to just be a trader, or you can, short the market. If you want to do that, obviously you can totally make money shorting and longing and playing the whole game of being a crypto trader, but that's a completely different argument if you're talking about holding product. Because as far as it goes, the volatility in the Pokemon market compared to the crypto market, so much more volatile in crypto. And then once you start getting into the altcoins, which they're so speculative too. I mean, as someone who's been in the market forever, you take 2014, you know, Neo and Dash were some of the top coins up until 2017. Neo and Dash are like about to break outside the top 100 coins. Cardano was a speculative project which has done really well because of their smart contracts, and you know, Charles is an amazing, you know, leader for the, you know, Shelley projects. But with that being said, who knows what could happen? You know, it could fall out of the top 10 like XRP, which used to be at one point top 2, top 3. So I think as far as it goes, when you make statements like that, I think they're a little ignorant based on the fact, obviously not you saying it, Travis, whoever your friend is. I think they're a little ignorant when it comes to understanding the total percentage gain on a long period of time versus the opportunity cost, because you have to understand opportunity cost. Because if you say to yourself, right, and say I have this hypothetical, say I have $1,000 in Bitcoin, right, and in the span of 5 years, right, I wait 5 years and then I 10x my money, right? $10,000, great investment, right? But what happened in the span of that 5 years in between, where the price went up and then down, and went up and went down, and went up and went down, and went up and then down, and it was just all this volatility, right? Versus if it's the Pokemon market, once it finds its bottom and it hits those kind of MSR, like not MSRP, but distributor level prices, worst thing that could happen, it hits those reprint levels, you can't sell for a short period of time, and then once it goes out of print, you only have to wait a short period of time. Especially when we talk about Pokemon Center exclusives, you can roll over that bankroll. Sure, you're not saying to yourself like you're not going to be making immediate 10x return, but you'll make 20%. You roll that over in 4 months. Add on to that 20%, roll it over in 4 months, add on to that 20%. And that's an opportunity cost that you're not looking into, or that individual's not looking into when it comes to opportunity with the volatility. Now, of course, if you're telling me that you're going to say, I'm going to get in Bitcoin, and when it goes up $10,000, I'm going to sell. And then when it drops, I'm going to get back in. But a lot of people are not good at trading. So that's a completely different argument that I think that, you know, a lot of people aren't really taking into consideration. Sad Hickey, altcoins have been getting destroyed worse than Bitcoin. Yeah, one of the projects recently that's been performing really, had performed really well was Solana. It's one of the NFT projects. And it went from $250 when Bitcoin was at its all-time high at 69K, and it's now sitting at around $80. Back when Bitcoin almost hit 52K, it got all the way up to 282. In the span of about 2 weeks, the price of Solana has dropped about 70%. They're getting slapped right now. Link's bags are heavy, bro. Link's good, dude. Link's been performing pretty strong. It's been pretty weak recently, but Link's definitely a solid project. But once again, I'm a firm believer of I ride the hot hand when it comes to crypto, because alts are super speculative, and I've been burnt by a lot of alts, especially in downturn volatile markets, especially when it comes to trading. For me, I have certain trading strategies because I do trade cryptos, but if I'm being completely honest, just trading on slightly higher leverage on Bitcoin just feels like a lot safer, because it's way easier to read than trying to speculate which alts are going to bleed one day or another. Travis, do you like Dogecoin? I've been looking into crypto and I'm considering of putting it into my risk investments. I hate Dogecoin. I hate SHIB. Personal opinion, and that's coming from someone who's made a killing on SHIB. And the reason why I say I hate it now is because here's the deal about these coins. When it comes to meme coins are good in bull markets and they're terrible in bear markets. They're going to perform some of the best percentages in bull markets, and in the bear markets they're going to perform some of the worst. Now, I'm not saying, of course, that we're in a bear market, but I am saying that we just saw Bitcoin drop 60% in the span of 2 months, and Dogecoin is going to get hit from that. Even when Bitcoin went and hit its all-time high, Doge wasn't even close to its all-time high, and that's because it's just a pump and dump. And here's the deal, man. If you want to throw some money in SHIB or Doge, my personal opinion, next bull cycle, when it just absolutely tanks to death, next bull cycle, you're going to have it, be able to get bought at like a penny, 2 pennies, so on. And then people are going to, do the same thing they've always done, and it'll go to like $1 or something crazy like that. But as far as goes, generally speaking, just not the play in my personal opinion. Just because it's just, you gotta be able to ride that wave. And if you don't hit the wave, then you're not gonna be able to make it. I mean, frick, I remember my mom and I both got in, and she had diamond hands. She at $500, or she put 500 in SHIB and sold and made 20K. So you can make money off of it, don't get me wrong, but we got in before there was hype, before SHIB, and that's just because we know people, because we've been in the market forever, so we had a little bit of insider information in regards to it potentially being a good next meme coin to pop off. Link has been so bad. I got recently in at 17, stopped out below. So you are trading. Yeah, as far as it goes, man, I mean, if you're trying to find, here's one of my personal, and I'm obviously not a financial advisor, one of my things that you have to understand, and if you really want to listen to someone who's really good in regards to trading, Crown is his name. I've been listening to him for several years now, 4 years I think now, since he basically started his channel. Crown's Crypto Cave, you can look him up. He's been a professional trader forever. One of the things he preaches a lot is the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. So if you're going to try and long the bottom, and you're just going to be catching knives, and that's one of those things that's very scary in markets like this, especially when you take a look and say to yourself, it's going to bounce now, it's going to bounce now, it's going to bounce now. We haven't seen that bounce, and last time when it went from 64 all the way down to 30K, there was no bounce along the way either. So it's much safer to understand the trends and try and, play a short on it rather than trying to find the bottom. Because, this is like a free fall market. It can, go from 0 to 100 real quick. I'm a believer too, just feels bad, man. Yeah, I feel you on that one, brother. And be careful of link charts starting to look like a Wyckoff distribution. If you know what chart patterns are, you all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I do know chart patterns, of course. But to be fair, a lot of what's going on right now is there's looking like a lot of what's looking like a Wyckoff distribution pattern. But as far as it goes, to be fair, I mean, we're having a head and shoulders pattern kind of play out as it stands right now. And that's, of course, playing on Bitcoin, which is then bleeding into the altcoin markets. So, as far as it goes, that's just kind of how it is. I think what you're going to probably want to do is you're going to probably want to look at 25K or 30K more specifically as a really good long-term opportunity. If you're trading on leverage, I mean, dude, go 25K, or sorry, go 30K. If you want a ladder, you go ladder at 30K, ladder at 25. Or if you don't want to do that, then, probably 25K, 2-3x leverage. And so that if you won't get liquidated if it does go down to 25K. But if we're truly in a bear market, then obviously it'll go lower. But if you believe we're in a bull market and you're playing the trend and you can cover, I think you'll at least find a good bounce opportunity on 30K since it is such long-term macro support. My brother and I are lighter skinned native born and raised Hawaiian, and my mom gave us Hawaiian names. She said some people don't give, she said some people don't give us a hard time. Well, it's funny, my guy. So my buddy, his actual name is Marley, and he goes by Kaimi. And it's interesting because he hates his name Marley. Like, no one calls him Marley. Like, he's told me and a couple of other buddies of mine who we're all friends with what his name is. But as far as it goes, I totally get that, man. Yeah, it's tough. You can get so much shit about it. I mean, people can be assholes. That's all I can say. Got it. Thanks. Appreciate the insight. No problem, brother. Yep, I know about him. He provides good analysis. Yeah, man. Like I said, I've been following him forever. So, obviously, like I said, not financial advice, not financial advisor. I'm not gonna literally like I obviously said, if I was in that shoes, I see your good RR risk reward, but I don't know what kind of trader you are. You're a short-term trader. Who knows if we can go down to 30 to 25K. And obviously if you do decide to, do that, then that's your own financial decision. Don't do things purely based off of what I said. Obviously you can take some of my advice that I give, but obviously I take everything I say with a grain of salt. So I'm just a nerd that knows a lot about Pokemon and the markets. So, but that's just kind of how it is. But my throat is getting absolutely destroyed, and I've been going for about 2 hours now. So as far as it goes, guys, I know I hate to cut it off, but this is probably going to be it for the stream today. I will be resuming back on Tuesday. You can thank Travis. Everyone thank Travis for that because he gave me so much crap about it. I will answer your question, Wolf, and then we'll finish it up. But yeah, you can thank Travis. He's definitely going to get me back on track. So I will be streaming back again here on Tuesday. So as far as it goes, guys, we will be doing these Q&As frequently again. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be Q&A days, and then eventually we'll transition to one of the days once I'm really starting to pick up steam to be able to have people on the channel and have podcast conversations. MR2 Wolf, is Shadowless WotC a good investment? I mean, Shadowless WotC historically has been a good investment. I would say so, generally speaking, yes. As far as it goes, obviously I like sealed better, but obviously it's a lot easier to be able to authenticate when we're talking PSA graded shadowless. So I think historically it's done well, but of course, I like sealed better particularly. Do you invest in any other collections or sneakers? Good question. Let's see. I invest in Pokemon, obviously. I invest in crypto. I don't invest in stocks as much as I used to anymore. I used to invest in stocks. You know, I've really been getting into Legos. I think Legos could be really good. It's just storing Legos is kind of hard. I do have some silver that I collect. I love the Chinese pandas. I love to collect those. But that's kind of it, man. That's kind of what I would say the biggest things I really like to invest in. Eventually, I'll probably get into graded video games, but they're going to be more along the lines of Pokemon and some of the other video games I really enjoy. Not big in speakers, but I know my brother is a huge sneaker collector. He has a bunch of the like original Yeezys, perfect condition, that he's just got displayed at his house up in Texas, or a room up in Texas. He's renting an apartment. But yeah, no. Okay, great stream. Glad I made it. Yeah, of course. And thanks for stopping by. Thank you guys all so much. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. And then yeah, I'll be posting my video obviously tomorrow. Friday's video. We're gonna have a hopefully a decent amount to talk about. We'll have to see when I announce the topic for the video.